Hey Michael, here there's a big event coming up.
There is indeed.
Who you been chatting to now?
So we've been chatting to KOTC Competitions to talk about their up-and-coming event in County Longford, Granard to be exact.
What's it called?
It's called King of the Rings.
And what is King of the Rings?
King of the Rings is an event similar to the likes of King of the Combe, where you have your typical diffin. It's got a top 16 competition.
Well, it does have a top 16.
It does have a top 16 competition. It's involved with the partnership with ourselves, Kings of the Road, Lucky Day Competitions, Blade Performance, Falvey and Dirty Drifting.
Deadly.
So,
you know what, folks? Be there or be square.
Or be round, because it's like rings and shit.
That's a fair point. Hello everyone, Connor here. Just as a small disclaimer, some things we may talk about on the pod shouldn't be attempted or recreated. Remember to keep everything legal, keep it between the hedges, and don't tear up the ground while you're on the pull. No, it's funny. Seeing work, there's a wee vending machine, and if you're dying for a drink or bar of chocolate or something to give you a wee G up.
Oh, handy enough.
There is a vending machine, and obviously it's not one of the fancy ones where the wee yoke goes up and grabs the drink, or the said bar of chocolate or packet of crisps.
Oh, is it one of the little ones which has just, like the worm on it?
And sometimes whoever actually stocks it up does it in a way that sometimes you pay.
And your thing stalls on it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then you pay again.
Why would you pay again? I'd sit and bang the machine.
Well, I have done that as well before, but no, like obviously a tin drop on any fucking height at all.
Oh, pew! You try to open it, it's just
so
literally.
I walk straight to the sink there and I just open it that wee bit to let the gas out, and all you hear is a wee psh, psh.
It's like a fucking mushroom cloud whenever you try to open it's like it falls out of the vending machine. You're like, can't wait for this.
Because it did end up not nuclear bomb style.
I'm surprised.
It did where I lost half my fucking drink to the ground and then had to obviously mop it up, so it's handier just walking over to the sink. And
it's a real tragic story.
Isn't it?
It is.
Fucking £1.20 for a tin.
I'm not in disagreement. Will we kick it in?
Will we kick it in?
We
will?
Aye.
You sure?
Why not? Long pause.
Aye.
While Connor loads the intro on his phone.
No.
Because after...
No, have it loaded. Hello everyone, as usual. What is the crack with you all? You're listening to Connor and Michael talking in a Agri Automotive podcast by ourselves at Limited Slip Differences.
That sounds like the first time you've ever said that intro.
Okay, put it this way, right? At this stage, yes, I bring this up to see what I'm meant to say.
Yes.
Because I'm like fucking Dory, I'm still finding myself. But I don't know, you're listening to the Agri Automotive podcast by Limited Slip Differences.
Yeah, but I think if a new listener was to come on and they hear we are the
well, if they don't fucking like it, then no point in listening any further. Because all it'll be
that's a valid point, to be
because
fair.
all it'll be is me saying 5 words and Michael going 10 minutes later. And then you doing this
situation.
Then you doing this here, fucking flat
I got a haircut.
You'll still do it.
I got a haircut. Well, do you like my t-shirt?
Out of curiosity, before I say about your t-shirt, does your barber be kept conversation with you?
Oh yeah.
It's bound to be. But just as a note, we chat all things from cars to tractors. I've wrote down cows here, but we've only ever done one cow podcast, and Michael actually couldn't fucking speak because his knowledge was slightly more limited to my own. This podcast guest, who I have very limited knowledge, and I definitely didn't say very much in this one.
Yeah, this week's guest is Danny Toland, and he's absolutely fucking hilarious.
He is.
He is so funny. I was so glad. The original plan, and hear us talk about this in the pod anyway, was I wanted to get him on with Shay Lahern and have sort of kill two birds with one stone. Have Shay the winner.
God help the two birds, but anyway.
Yeah, fuck, you're not joking. Have Shay kind of the winner, King of the Cone and all that, and then have just Danny the mad bastard, and both Sarah men. So you'd have been lost for words regardless.
Trying to think of two type R men who you'd have on that would make you speechless, but you'd probably still talk more than me.
What about the two boys from Brokeback Mountain?
Do you watch Brokeback Mountain? Do you? You're the one who brought it up. Do you watch Brokeback Mountain?
I don't think I've ever actually seen Brokeback Mountain. Have you seen Brokeback Mountain?
No.
Oh, alright, well.
Nothing against the film. Just
No, of course not. Nothing against that in general.
I'm more about superhero movies and like Deadpool and Wolverine, and
Do you think Deadpool and Wolverine fit 2 Type R's?
well, no, it'd have to be talking to John Cena because he daily drives a Type R.
That's right, he does. It's an FK8 or something he drives by, isn't it? It's not like an E.
Yeah, he's like, it's quick, it's reliable, it gets good MPG.
To be fair, it's probably his ultimate daily driver. It's like 300 horsepower. If you can afford to fuel it, that is. Yeah, it has all the toys, like aircon and all that as well. It's comfortable. Obviously, the nice seats and everything. And yeah, is it still a K20?
They, as far as I'm aware, they're just obviously turboed from factory K20.
Yeah, but K20s are cool turboed anyway. Did you see the K24 from the Drift Games Invitational? Your mum with the S15 with the K24, it's 950 brake.
Yes,
That's
running a lot of ethanol.
Methanol,
Is it?
Methanol, I think it was.
Nitrous as well.
150 shot of nitrous.
Oh, the limiter was brilliant.
Oh, it's a serious.
He was revving it wild high though, all the same, was he not? Like 9,500.
I would see that's how he gets the power, because
No, I know that, but a K24 normally does not rev anywhere near that high.
I think Nick has his out to near
But his is an F20.
F24.
Oh,
it's got a K
it's got a
series.
K-
It's got a
K series
crank in it, I think.
crank,
I think Nick would obviously be able to tell you a lot better than I would, but I'm pretty sure his is stroked using a K24 crank, or a derivation of a K24 crank, maybe adapted for an F series.
So, Michael, you're wearing a lovely t-shirt there.
So yeah, I don't know.
I'm not Becca, by the way. I'm just admiring the t-shirt.
No, thank you very much. It's a pro-type design. I say it's a pro-type design. It's literally identical to the hoodie, which was the whole idea behind it.
It's
but
the hoodie on a t-shirt.
It's oversized and it's very, very heavy. So I think like oversized, supposedly the cool kids tell me that's like the trendy thing at the minute. I'm not cool, so I wouldn't know. But
How would you know?
because I know I'm not cool.
You have a cool Sierra.
LOL. Yeah, to be honest, I've always been kind of into like the player fit. I say player fit, like that was kind of like for us growing up, same as like whenever we were very young, bootcut jeans was the style, and then it became like skinny jeans, and now kind of like flares and all is kind of like, not so much in men obviously, but flares are kind of like now the thing. It's like all this loose clothing and all is kind of now like the thing. So it's like
Fuck Coco Chanel. We have Michael Chanel here.
so it's like oversized, but it's really heavy. It's like 320 GSM. So whatever that.
Maybe if you dyed your hair black and wore glasses, you might be called Gokwan.
Pardon me. I did a far better job than Gokwan. But yeah, it's really heavy. It's really comfortable. Really, really comfortable. And I might do a grinder test on it to see how long it takes to burn through.
Well, if you want to pass money against the wall, that's fair enough for you.
It's durability testing. So you have to go and get your car crashed into a wall to sell it. So why not test us out with a grinder? I mean, to be fair, the logic stacks up kind of if you look at it in a real weird, funny angle. But it kind of makes sense.
All my head's thinking about is, were you dropped as a child to see if you worked as well?
100%. If you ask my mom, I'm like the most calamity, accident-prone Wayne. I think by the time
You're locked in, carry through all the same.
No, fuck, I am still calamity and accident prone, like, to this day. Anyway, moving on. What's new?
When did we last record?
We last recorded probably...
Our own bit, that is.
We last recorded episode 40. The same...
What episode are we even on?
Oh, we're in episode 41.
Okay.
41.
Right,
we recorded episode 40 the same night Danny Toland was here, and he went back. It was probably the start of August when we last recorded, or end of July. Probably
I think
2 weeks.
Aye.
It's 2 weeks. 2 weeks, but that was a late one. That was a really late one.
That was the latest of late ones.
We had so many technical difficulties with Danny, and that kind of comes up in this pod. And like, to be honest, the segment we had with Danny was actually a bit shorter, I think, than any of us would have liked. But he literally had a flight to catch the next day.
And he had an hour and 40-minute drive back to Glenties.
Yeah, so like,
And he still had to pack his bag. Or he was hoping his mother had packed his bag.
yeah, but he stood her up. So
Shout out to Danny's mother. God help her.
Fair play to her.
You know, that's something.
So we had a kind of call time after like I think
you know, man, I don't want to go for dinner with you, but go and pack me bag.
After like an hour, I think it was like an hour 20 recording, and by the time I dialed it back and took out a few bloopers and shit, it was like an hour 16. And to be honest, like with Danny, we could have doubled that, no bother.
Easily,
Yeah, like so.
Considering you have a better memory, go what have we been doing?
We actually kind of missed this in the last podcast because it was that late, and it was like we were trying to think back so far. We didn't even get a chance to talk about it. But a couple of weeks ago, we attended, just heard of it somehow, coming through the grapevine, of a certain location X and a certain location not terribly far from where we record this podcast, held by two certain twin brothers who will go unnamed, but let's just say they enjoy their 306s.
They do.
So, to be fair, like, I'm all on for that kind of...
They also know their Zaras as well.
Yeah, they do. Fucking.
And I very much complimented said person.
He's honestly talking about swapping it for a Sierra, and I was like...
I told him to catch himself.
So did I. I was literally like... He was like, do you think so? I was like, well, considering I've had a Sierra for 10 years, yes, I do absolutely think you should keep that Zara over a Sierra. Like, because let's be honest, you'll see more Sierras for sale than you'll see a Zara.
Well, that's that.
Plain and simple, like. So, I think I don't agree with him selling it, but whatever. I just wish I had the money to have it myself, to be quite honest. I would that car is one of my all-time, like, Northern Irish iconic icons.
Like,
iconic
realistic.
Icons. Good England, Michael. Yeah. But honestly, like that, I remember that car from years ago.
They're mental are all the same nowadays. I would say for a mint 306 or Zara.
Well, Zara just added 1.5 on top of the price again, like, I think. Genuinely.
You know, I've recently heard that they're upwards of $8,000 if you get a real mint one and the right wheels, right colour, right spec.
Aye, well, raffle companies are nearly giving big enough money for them, which is where we heard that information from. Well, it's true or not sure, but yeah, it was, yeah.
But more in the location X. So, one thing I found about it, right, as a person who just happened to be there to meet friends.
Yeah, didn't even know there was cars going.
Neither did I.
What's a car?
Who got you in the head today? But anyway, see whenever like something be's a way out of the way, let it be a way out of the way. As long as there's no utter fucking dicking about.
Everybody else was standing back, kind of standing behind their cars, nearly, so to speak.
Yes.
No one's standing in front of their cars because we're not Americans and therefore we're not stupid. You know, like the way they do in the takeovers. You know, everybody stands behind their cars. So worst comes to worst, absolute worst. If someone perhaps slides out too wide, they'll dump someone's car. Not great.
Which I had a worry about on my own. But that was just in the back of my head.
Yeah. The reality is, if you'd have seen a video, they'd have been 2 meters from your car, easily.
Like, if you think about it, if you're parked there to meet friends, or parked anywhere to meet friends, and this happens to be going on in the background, and you put a lot of money in the car, you're literally just sitting there taking a risk.
Yeah.
How the fuck are you going to come? You've no back up to or anything. It's on you if something bad happens.
And you have to be understanding of that, to be fair, which can be a bit of a hard pill to swallow if something was to happen. But you don't really ever hear of that happening because, again, we're not America and people can actually steer. So, sorry to any American listeners, but kind of true. The thing is, the only person, and I'll out and out shame myself here, like, I would have been the one who was putting myself most at risk because I was like out with the camera getting a couple of videos and had a couple of ones who I knew could steer drive around me. And I was the only person. And
thankfully, they were only driving around you.
Yeah.
There was no out of control stuff.
Absolutely not. But, like, you know, that's literally just me. Nobody else done that apart from me.
It's like you grew a set of balls.
Well, I had, like, pointed and said, I'm here, I'm standing here. So it's not like I jumped out in front of them or whatever because I didn't want to impede their run, But it's one of them things, like you look at it where it was located at. It is out of the way. I think there's one house in that road. It's at the top end of the road. Now that being said, I can hear it from my house because it's only at the other side of the river. You know, as the crow flies, it's not that far away, so I can hear it from my house. But it's not even loud. Like if you're sitting in the house, you wouldn't hear it. It's only if you're working in the shed at night, and you'll hear a silage harvester literally as loud. So as you say, just let them be. Like there's no harm been done. It's keeping people. Like what would you rather have? Boys out burning rubber or boys out fucking putting gear up their nose? Like, you know.
Well, that's it. You could be at worse.
Exactly.
That's a very valid point. Like you could have somebody putting in silage beside a house at that time of night. It's like once here or there.
I think like
as long as it's not going on to like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning. But at the end of the day, like you can't really help that, and you're obviously understanding about that.
Yes. Well, most people are. You don't. I don't think you get it over here at all. But you do see videos of people in England, like especially in like way down in Jeremy Clarkson country, where people are literally walking across their fields at like 11 o'clock at night, screaming at boys saying, "Can you not come back in the morning?"
I've heard of it in this part of
Seriously?
the world too. Yeah, but at the same time, like, yes, it's like anything. The grass needs to be cut, needs to be put in, green, whatever you're doing, slurry put out, whatever. But at the same time, I suppose if you look at the other side of things, where you know, say you and I know Becca and years down the line have a wean and the silage going in beside you, and that wean would not sleep, and you know rightly it's because of the noise, not used to it. If you have to get up in 4 or 5 hours and you know you're highly stressed through work and all these other factors that you never really think about, you'd be fucked off.
You'd be fucked off, but you
thankfully 99.999% of people in the country is very understanding of it.
You'd be fucked off, but at the same time you're also going like, they're not going to be here tomorrow night.
You know, as long as like there's obviously videos and that there of people that's doing silly things outside people's houses, and that would naturally fuck somebody off. But that place of meeting your friends is fairly out of the way.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not doing anybody any harm. Moving on then to, so yeah, got everything edited through the week, mainly focusing on the podcast. And then on Friday, we hopped into the Amarok and we went to Fundraiser.
We did.
We got in just for about the last hour and a half or so.
M50 traffic.
Can suck my fucking ball bag. It was horrible.
Thank you for the accurate description, Michael. I'll not be sucking your ball bag.
No,
but,
I wouldn't want you to either. No offence.
Good.
But I know I nearly proposed to you in the last podcast, but that's water under the bridge now.
Did you?
Yeah. You really do have a memory of a goldfish. John literally said something in the
Oh, look, tell you the truth, there's a lot more going on in my head than the podcast. But
thanks.
Well, like we're TB testing this week.
Yeah, that's a pretty big stressful thing. Like,
but yes. So, I took half day at work.
So did I.
And we got on the road as early as possible, and then we got on the M50, and John knows something. In the grand scheme of things, it wasn't disastrous, but like it's the fact you're held up for half an hour.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean,
like Southern Road Network around Dublin and that M50 leading on to all your inroads, which obviously lead on to your inroads as well, is first class. Like,
shame if they
they would actually pull their fingers out and sort out York Gate, because you have only one set of traffic lights between
here and Cork.
And well, here in Dublin, and it's York Gate.
Oh, but you're not getting any traffic lights in the M50, Nick.
No, but what I mean is, well, I suppose
you don't stop till you hit the toll. Apart from
even if they had a bit of
Westlink.
fucking toll or something, just to sort of recoup some of the costs.
The way the road network is there, though, I mean, I think it's been talked about for years.
To be fair, there was plans to do it, and there was tendered and all. And then there was scandal, supposedly.
Yes, allegedly.
Allegedly, there was scandal. Isn't it such a powerful word? Allegedly.
Allegedly. They're going to say scandal. Also a powerful word. Allegedly. I love that word. That comes up a lot in our next podcast.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we went to Fundraiser and then happened to be walking through the pits and bumped into someone wearing our merch. which I was fucking buzzing about.
Yes.
Adam Fletcher, by the way, in case you'd forgot
Yes.
the name, Connor.
No, I didn't forget the name because I have him on Snapchat. And I had seen that somebody from Snapchat was at it. I was like, oh, very good. And then you were like, holy fuck, there's one of our hoodies. And I was like,
I was so buzzing. Like,
holy fuck, was right. You know,
I don't think I would ever not be buzzing, even like
there was a good few hoodies sold, but like to go somewhere and see one is pretty cool.
it was like whenever I bumped into Keelan at JPCC. I did scratch my hair. JPCCNA,
Yes.
and he was wearing a hoodie. I was like, appreciate just people actually wearing it. You know, like I just
Well, suppose they don't buy it to be like, we'll just put you in the closet.
collector's item.
Yes.
First release LSD
Technically, I
merch.
suppose it could be a collector's item. We go down, you seen the hoodie, you were happy.
Yes.
I was also happy myself.
Yes.
We were wet because of the rain.
Yes.
Got into the pits. It was weird to see Mandello very empty.
Aye, but it was chill, and there was a lot of cool cars about.
But bear in mind, like, I normally be there at Driftmasters time or
See,
LZ World Tour /Fest / whatever you normally call it.
See, the Invitational wouldn't be as packed. It's a lot more chill. So it was kind of like walking through the way the Invitational would be.
Sorry, were you on there?
I had to stop myself.
I was like, please don't,
I
because I left up you on.
I had to clench my teeth there.
But yes, lots of cool cars there. Really,
Just checking.
believe me, I'll let you know from staring at it. But it's not just a random event. It's one of those events where you have, coming around the final corner of Mandello, you have like Shamfitz twin cam, and then like a fucking R8 behind it.
Aye.
One's drifting and one's like out of the fucking road there.
Yeah. It is. It's funny that they just let everybody go at the same time. It's a good idea. Like, maybe not for that, but like, well, I was going to say
And
maybe
it's
not.
for a good cause as well.
Yes. It was an enjoyable day out and seeing everything go by. Like, you know, there's a couple, the track started to get kind of like greasy at a point there, and there was a couple of boys coming out and planting it, and you just seen like the car starting to do a bit of a wobble, and I was like, ooh, this could end badly. But to be fair, everyone driving there was pretty. The
Yeah.
drifters were giving it stacks as well, which is good to see. Shamfitz was literally coming around the top corner on the foot brake to see how much angle he could dial in. Like, yeah.
Yes. And there was a 350 there and a set of Stroms, and it
Purple
looks.
It
Looks, John, some 350 on Stroms.
It's cool.
Well.
It's a cool
Looks
car.
Seriously well, yeah.
I think I saw it at the ADC at the weekend, but anyway, it wasn't in the Pro class, so it must be a Pro 2, but
It was Pro 2 car, aye.
well,
But I know we only got an hour there. If we had got there earlier, you probably could have got a run out with Sham.
I was happy enough to get a couple of videos, which I'll try and at some point upload.
Yeah. There's lots of, like, it was mostly basically supercars and drift cars.
Yeah,
A lot of Hondas at it.
there was that
The
Corolla that had the. Did you say there was a beam sticker on it, or did Adam say there's a beam sticker on it?
I think Adam did.
So, if there's a beams engine in that Corolla,
You're not born.
I
I'm just
salute you.
tired.
Maybe it's a bit of both. If there's a beams engine in that Corolla, I salute you. That'd be fucking class, like.
There's many people do that.
I don't really know if the beams would be much of a common front wheel drive swap. Maybe they did the beams in a front wheel drive car.
Oh, I was thinking you were thinking about a twin cam.
No, the Corolla, it's a common-ish swap for an E86.
Right.
No, this was like the E9 Corolla.
Okay.
That was going about the Navy one.
Ah, yes.
Yes. And I kept going, that's class.
Yes.
So, yeah, no, it was a good day out. We then headed on down the road, followed Seamus and the lads down the road then to Waterford.
It turns out that we went to the wrong Apple Green, because we went to the Apple Green we normally meet, and to be honest, if we had went to the normal Apple Green that we normally meet at, which tends to be on the way as if you're going to Dublin bound, that was out of their fucking way.
Yeah.
We forgot there was an Apple Green in the actual village of Cara.
Yes.
So anyway, we drove past them. They were probably going like, what the fuck are they doing?
Yeah.
That's a very bad Dublin accent.
Even worse because they're from Waterford.
Yes, that's why I was like, anyway. They're probably like, obviously like, what the fuck are they doing? which we then realised, what the fuck are we doing? Because we drove round about 2 or 3 times.
Yes.
And then at least we tested out the Amarok.
In what way?
Fuel economy. How bad it can be.
Yeah.
For 10 minutes. And then it seems to be a very good, solid, reliable,
it's
easy
right.
on fuel.
Oh, I suppose that's a side note. Yeah. The Amarok has now got a heavy file on it. DPF, delete. EGR pulled out, well, blanked off. And AdBlue pulled out of it as well, which I wasn't really that arsed about. But it seems to be gone as well, because when you check for how much AdBlue's left in the tank, it just shows up like a blank. Oh. And I was like, all right, cool. Fuck, she can chef now.
Yes.
She can boogie.
By God, she's a Ricky Bora.
She is. I'm actually kind of a bit on the fence with how smoky it can be.
Wait, did you see how smoky it could be?
I finally did look, guys, because you said, oh, see how smoky it is, and I planted it and back. I look behind and goes, fuck, Michael, that thing is smoky. And I was like, I'm just after seeing it. But I think I haven't seen it as smoky since. And I don't remember it being as smoky as that beforehand. I'm thinking maybe the weather conditions that Sunday morning.
I was behind in the golf there and...
on the way out the road.
Even you putting the foot down tootling a bit, you do see a wee bit out of it.
I didn't even put the foot down. That was her literally tootling. In fact, I was driving purposely slowly because she's not warmed up. So, like, literally I was, like, not going above probably 1,500 RPM. And it's still smoky.
A wee bit.
Fucking hell. Well, she's no shortage in power now.
That's what 200 brake does to you though on a diesel. Plus 100.
320 now she is, like, so, and 680 Newton meters. So she is sharp. But that's
I even got my arse handed to me in the Type R.
That wasn't even me full bore. You can't give it to her in first and second gear. She revs out too much.
For I pulled up alongside you, I was like, fuck it, there's a bit of a stretch road here. It's 40 miles speed limit. We'll give her first to second and then it'll be 40 and we'll stop. I looked over at you and you looked, are you thinking what I'm thinking? I'm like, yes, I'm thinking what you're thinking. Because I'd be like, yes, I'm thinking what you're thinking. And me, Razor Focus, got a wild bad start off from the traffic lights. Got first limiter and banged in the second. The wheels actually spun my banger in the second that much.
Oh, you were going for it, like?
And then you were like, hey.
It was fairly effortless, but like, I mean, all I have to do is put my foot in the throttle, like, and just.
Whereas I was like, fucking.
You're controlling clutch. See, I don't have to worry about any of that.
Me, I was like through backup seat that far. I was nearly in the back seats, whereas you were just like.
Oh no, mine will throw you back in the seats, alright.
I'm taking the piss.
But
did you ever see a video of like how Honda drivers drive?
Nah. And their passengers looking at them going, just blinking.
Yeah.
To be honest, by rights I probably should have dusted you further. Like,
please don't.
No, but like, as in, your car was probably better than it should have been. You know, like on paper. Like, I should have toasted you, but I wouldn't say it.
You're 2.5 ton?
Probably
320 brake.
Yeah.
Wait, 650 Newton meters?
680.
You've only fucking 530 extra torque.
Aye. Wait, is that the Newton meters in the?
I think they're only like 150 or 100. I always heard that it's like 170 you aim for when mapped.
All right. That'll be foot pound, but Newton meters is more like probably 250, 260.
All right, because it's more whenever you map a Type R, they're mapped from factory. Obviously, it's like they're dead, and then VTEC kicks in and they purposely drop power to then give you the burst. And whenever you get them mapped, it's more or less like a nice power curve, but you get far better mid range.
That was the whole idea. But yeah. Back to what we were doing, so
that's right.
We then
we must be recording half an hour. We barely got this stuck.
We went on out the road, followed them on out the road then, and allegedly there's a bypass of Waterford that has a few roundabouts, and
it's funny, right? All the signs just went private.
Yep, can neither confirm nor deny that a certain Corolla.
It's like the only way now in the shopping centres and that they've all got the wee e-ink things. Changed the thing. It just went fuck motorists, private everywhere.
Yep.
And
allegedly a certain A86 Corolla may have stepped out a couple of times.
So uncontrollably.
Yep.
And he just managed to hide
He
it.
done well to hide it, like, you know, and it just kept happening.
Even
Weirdly on the roundabouts.
Even the woman at the toll town, this private road out here going ahead.
That's right. Straight out, yeah.
He was like, "Hey, is this private?" Yes, of course.
Yes, obviously it's private. Do your thing.
You've literally just paid to go past me.
Yeah, like you own this road. You can do what you want here. So got to the unit, spent a bit of time chatting with Sham and a couple of the others, and then we headed out to where we were staying, which was just across the border in Kilkenny, in a town called Mooncoin. Shout out to the town of Mooncoin and shout out to the Rose of Mooncoin. Hello. Fuck yous, and you're changing your rules playing pool. Connor, it turns out, is very good at pool. Doesn't let on he's good at it, but he's very good at pool. I'm trying to raise my eyebrows, my crusty forehead from all my sunburn fucking hurt
before I go any further, actually, how long we say like one of my notes. So we get into the Rosamund Coin and went straight over to Laura that was behind the bar. Laura's very nice, and we were like, "Can we get a chat? Do you still serve food?" And she was like, "No, not at this time."
She kind of looked at us with pity.
And you were like, "Can we bring some food in here?" And she was like, "Yeah, go on ahead." Everybody else in the bar, whenever we brought food, it was like, "Fucking tramps."
But sure.
There was a dart competition on, actually. So they were doing trials, I think, or something.
County trials or something, wasn't it?
County trials.
County trials.
So
playing county. Maybe not necessarily in the GA, but you're playing county nonetheless.
Good out of watch, you know, whenever actually.
Well, actually was, to be fair. It was the...
Every one of the players too was sound as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
But funny, so we get in and the wee girl Laura was like, "Oh, what brings you down here?" And I was like, just whatever in my head, I was like, fucked if I'm saying I'm down here to record a podcast. So get like, you know, anyway, so I basically was like, "Yeah, just down to meet friends." Who? I don't know.
Don't really know them.
Don't really know them. So I was like, "I know, just the other fella, he knows somebody, blah, blah, blah. I don't really know them that well." And, "Are you staying long in Waterford?" "No, we're going over to Cork tomorrow." "And who are you staying with?" "Oh, I don't really know him either." "You just winging it to him?" "I am, yes." Basically, that was the conversation.
That was pretty much the
And then fucking 4 pints in, I was like, we're down here doing a podcast.
Aye, because then she was like, "What's it called?" And I was like, just read
read
this.
it, aye.
Just read this.
Would be quite the mouthful, to be honest with you. But
it is a hard thing to say at times.
Aye, we've not glanced over this. We have very well explained this, but
Yeah.
So then, long story short, we went a pints in. Then I was like, "Fuck, there's pool too." You know, I wouldn't mind a game of pool. And there was I had no Weller Fowler's one or just two friends that were having a game, and I said, "Oh sure, fuck, I'll play the winner," even though I didn't have any money on me, but sure. I was like,
you.
I was like, I'll buy whoever a fucking pint. I couldn't care less. Anyway, so I'll tell the truth. Normally, what I end up doing when like having a game of pool, you have an idea what you want to do, but it doesn't always come off. Everything came off. I made a total fucking ball out of that club the first game. And he was like...
He was raging.
Yes.
He was absolutely raging.
Played me... So I was like, "Oh, do you want another game?" "Go and fuck yourself." Saying somebody else played, beat them. And then it was like the third person. It was like, "Oh, you have to pick a pocket."
Aye.
I was like, "I've never played this before, but whatever. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm here for a bit of crack."
Aye.
And that was grand. Then the next game...
Sticky ball.
Sticky pocket.
Sticky...
Was it I played that, and then we played another game with him.
And then you potted the black.
He hadn't potted nearly a ball, and my fucks to give was severely going out the window. And I potted the black, and it was like, you're bound to have seen my face. Not a care in the world.
Yeah, you didn't. At that point, you were just like, "I'm done with these fucking stupid, shitty rules." Like,
and then the game after that, whoever it was, I think he was a contractor or something.
That's right.
And he was fucking well.
He was good.
He was good, but I think he will put it this way. At that game, it was just like he had one or two shots, and they were fairly pish. So I was like, the fucks to give royally went out then. So I wasn't even hardly trying to do these fancy things that I'd done in the first mini games, which sounds like a sore loser, but genuinely that was the case. And then I more or less set him up, and he potted 3 or 4 with 4 good shots, got in the black, potted it. But one player was like, yes, the top half of the table you can set the white anywhere. I was like, no bother. I was like, is this still a thing? Is this still a thing? Because there was no D.
Probably just rubbed off from years of use.
No, there was no D.
Oh, was there not?
And then it was, oh, no, you have to be in the D this time. And I was like, whatever, no bother. But then it was, one man played the 2 shots carried, which helped him out a bit, but it still beat him. And then another man played sticky pocket. And then another fella played if you pot it off the break, you had to stick with that colour, whereas normally you can just carry on whatever colour you want if it suits.
No, so, I've always done it. Pot off the break is the one you stick with. No, that might be
everybody has their own seemingly set of rules with pool, but yeah. So good days and bad days.
We stayed literally in an old convent. Now you'd think me booking this, I'd put to it was cheap. It come up on
it wasn't actually that cheap.
It was cheap enough, like it was like €87. Considering to stay in Waterford was 170. Aye. It was cheap for what it was.
It was 50 minutes out from the town, and fair enough.
15 minutes out, we could get in no bother, like compared to staying in Waterford. And
well, that was how random it was, because the Laura was like, "Where are you staying at?" And I was like, "It's very random, but up the road there in the convent." The look of.
I thought maybe it was an old place that was like.
I'm sure I looked like a right silly bugger.
Right? Why?
Because I didn't know who I was going to meet.
If she knew who you were as a person, she would realise that's very much on brand for you.
But I know, so it was, you're going to meet friends you don't know when you're staying
in a place you don't know tomorrow night. And you're going to an event on Sunday you don't really know anything about. Yep. You, my friend, are a walking advertisement for someone who they do like a seen missing campaign for.
To be fair, I thought you were going to say you're a perfect campaign for someone who is lost.
I was going to say last seen jumping on an Amarok 3 days ago. Haven't seen him since. Sprace didn't turn to you and go, "Do you even know the lad you're with here now at the minute?"
That's a bit too far, Michael, to be honest with you.
Well, just if you knew nothing else.
But
that's what I would say to wind up the situation, like.
Mm-hmm. But no, it was nice out to stay. It was
what it was, like. But
I was in a bunk bed.
I literally, it seemed
so if I had lifted my head at all, it was.
You didn't lift your head, don't you worry about that. But it's just, I booked it online and just looked and I was like, presentation confident, well, alright, okay, what a name. Never thought anything about it. Then we arrived, I was literally beside the chapel. I was like,
the best of it was we went to the care home.
That's right.
Follow Google Maps, and we were like,
took us to the care home.
There's the church, and it's like, oh, there's Loch House Bain, and must be in there.
And then it came up COVID-19 outbreak.
I was like, that's the care home.
Yeah, this is definitely not where we're staying.
So you were like, we'll just go in and ask, and the fucking front door was like COVID-19 outbreak, and you're like, hi. And then you rung the person who was over the other place, and it's like, I know, we're down at a place about COVID-19 outbreak. She was like, you're at the care home. Yeah.
No, she said that they've tried to change it in Google.
Oh, right.
Yeah, she told me on the phone. She's like, "Oh, we've tried to change it in Google, but they won't change it." And I was like, "Right, well, I guess we'll just come round." She's like, "Yeah, go by the chapel." And I was like, "Oh no, we're actually staying in a proper fucking nunnery place, like." So, yeah, it was surreal walking through just all these pictures of her, and I was like, "This is literally like." We're walking in here. This is like there's people staying in their holidays here, and there's like the fucking Last Supper up on the wall there. I was like, what a setup, like. But part of the crack, like. Then so Saturday got up, went and recorded with Seamus and Connor. So
I drove a twin cam for the first time.
Same actually.
That was the first time you ever drove a twin cam.
That's the first time I ever drove a twin cam.
Cool, an extremely cool wee car. And they've extremely cool stuff about it.
So
his
cool.
S13 is cool as fuck.
Yeah. Is it? Yeah, S13.
Me's like, are you going to enter like ADC next year? And he's like, no, there's a road car. And like,
yeah. It's the fact it's like D1 GP inspired.
Oh,
so like the livery and all that. It's absolutely class.
Like it doesn't have a big country labs, but has, you know, the owl style big wings.
It's like, and then it's got the not suicide doors. Scissor doors.
Lambo doors.
Well, Lambo doors. But what was it they called them on?
Underground tube with scissors.
Was it scissors?
And then suicide was open.
Opens out the other way.
You know, like Rolls Royce back door style.
Like it was. Honestly, like it's just the stuff he has. You'll hear it on the next podcast anyway. But it's seriously cool. And then we tried going on the simulator of the famous Port Road.
See, the private Port Road.
Yes.
Allegedly.
Well, it's on a set of courses, so it was private.
Oh, well, I know it was an imitation of allegedly private Port Road.
The famous alleged Port Road, yes.
But I know I watched him for a minute or two, and I thought
steering away the very
best. It was like, yeah, you aim for this bit, you aim for that bit, you aim for that curb, you go round here, you go round, you aim for it, you know, as your clipping points. I was like, fucking bang on, lad.
No bother. Let me at
Me.
this.
I stalled it. Stalled the car 3 times in the simulator.
She was like, just drive it like a real car, and you were like, I'm trying. And then
me buying first gear, buying second gear, and I'm looking back at the fucking, you know, always bad.
Honestly, I was looking at you and I was like, this is painful to watch. And I started recording you and I was like, this is painful to watch. Just fucking let me have a go at it. Well, fuck, I don't know better.
Because whenever you get onto it, considering obviously you've experience in some sort of a form of
I can hold a slide, like, but like.
What I mean is you.
I literally mounted everything.
What we know is don't jump into Johnny's chaser, because it was a chaser that was there.
Yes.
It was quite a high horsepower one that was imitating.
Yes.
Johnny won't have a chaser anymore if you go into it.
No, let's just, yeah.
I just brake it before it even sets off.
Yeah.
Or stall it.
Yeah. It was humbling, shall we say.
Humbling is
So we left Waterford then and headed on down to Cork.
Which, you know, seems when you're in, you know, like up here and you look down, you're thinking, oh, that's not actually that well far away from one another.
It was a bit of a drag. It's about 2 hours, wasn't it?
2.5 hours. It's the fucking same as us going to Dublin. More. It's
I
further.
suppose it would have been, but then
it's the same distance. No, it's the same journey time as going from here to Mandello Park.
Aye, but a lot of it's single carriageways.
The roads would be shit.
They're not fantastic now, has to be said. They're not fantastic.
And it didn't help that Michael knew better than the sat-nav on multiple occasions. Yeah, you did.
Oh,
you were like, fucked if I'm going down that road.
I know, I went the wrong. I should have just headed for Clonakilty and cut out that way, but no, I had to end up going on out towards like Ovens and out that direction, the top part of Cork, and then, or the top part of West Cork, shall we say. So rather than following like the N71 out towards like Bandon and all that, I ended up staying on the N40, and the N40 goes from like a carriageway to like a single lane road.
It's the fact that
we were in the middle of nowhere.
Well, it's not even that. It's the fact that you were like, fucked if I'm going by Bandon. And then on the way home, we went by Bandon.
Yeah, you did. They go by Bandon, so yeah.
And for what, 2.5 hours, and you were like, how far away are we from Bandon on the way home? And I was like, 20 minutes. They were like, fuck off, no we're not.
I know, and I know that part of the country, like ish, from being down there with a previous job, like, and because you know I worked on a couple of quarries down, like literally down there, so it's not my first time driving there, and every other time I've always went by Bandon. So why the fuck I decided I was going to head on out the N40 towards Ovens and out that way, I have no idea.
Neither do I.
But I did. So
normally I just set the sat nav and go with it. You don't. You never go with it.
Well, you know what's quite funny is the whole weekend, like, you know, so we went out, we were staying at Jeremy's. Jeremy is the absolute mad bastard that I bought Mary off. And he listens to the pod, and he'll be more than happy to hear me say that. Like,
I didn't take your word for it that he was, and then you told me was Liam, and within fucking 2 hours I realised, Jesus, he is a fucking header.
His name on TikTok is Hatchet But Effective.
It's fucking aye. But no, like, so I was like, no, we were driving up his road, and then you were like, oh, that's the place up there. I was like, oh, fuck, geez, there's a big brave old shed and all the rest. Got up and round, And I was like, holy fuck, at the amount of double chops, single chops, and everything with a spout.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yep. 2
And there's
Mangellis.
a random major sitting in the yard, and I was like, oh, there's a 390T. Aye. Yeah.
So Jeremy had, to be fair, Jeremy had everything laid out for us. The yard was tidied. The only thing we really had to do was test the double chop, and then we had to go and tip one of the other trailers so we could get everything hooked up and get on the road to head to Ahiohill the next day.
Which, to be honest with you, at this stage, I was like, oh, we're down here. Michael has kept going on that we've a wee bit of silage to do.
Yes.
Me thinking, oh, this is possibly a precision chop silage job or something along them lines. Because at the end of the day, I didn't fucking know. I fucking knew nothing. You know, like, and to be honest with you, most people will be sitting there going, do you not ask questions? Not really.
No.
Whenever I have a day off, I don't really care. As long as I'm not,
you go on the autopilot, like.
like half the time you were going to me, are you enjoying yourself? I'm like, yeah, I'm on a fucking day off.
It's like, I could be staring at a wall somewhere, I'd still be happy.
Well, that's a bit. Well, I wouldn't go that far, like, but you know. But anyway, got there, seen all the double chops and that, and then we got up to the field.
Aye, so you took the 390T up the hill.
Aye.
Jeremy went on ahead with the major, which, yes, for the record, based on the TikTok, it is 200 horsepower.
Every bit of it.
Every bit of it.
And it turns out that a 390T with a Lee trailer on behind, Jesus, a brave pull high. We got up that hill and I was like, he expects me to come down this with a full trailer of grass with no brakes. Fuck me, Pank. But anyway, so you were like, well, what are you thinking all this year? And I'm like, mad bastard.
You were still taking it all in because I've been down to Jeremy. Like, I mean, that's for me.
You knew what to expect. I did not.
Like,
I hadn't a clue.
Because that's where Mary come from.
He replaced Mary with a fucking petrol shovel.
Yeah, I think he regrets still selling Mary.
And then he was like, where do you see the bucket? He has the bucket trail on the ground because the actual pivot pin.
Yeah, she's bossed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we got up to the field and at the end of the day, I'm used to what I'm used to, and his way of getting the actual double chop into the right position is a block of wood and drive like fuck, and it happens to push her around.
Out, yeah, it swings her out.
I can't mind the last time I ever seen a double chop go on, never mind that, we were going to be drawn away from it. And yeah, then she could go on.
For 10 seconds.
It's one of those things where she was going for, like, literally, he revved her up and then a bang. And I was like, right, okay, what's this? Turns out that bit of the blower had caught about the frame and bent it.
That's right. That
so
was the
then
first
he just
one.
Hammered it back, and the best of it was, fuck it, be grand. I'd say, fuck it. Every other 5 minutes,
fuck it.
It would be, fuck's sake, followed by, sure, fuck it, be grand. I'd say.
I'd say, yeah. So it was
fuck it, should be grand. I'd say.
So you were sitting in the 390T. Jeremy was on the major. And I was just looking at this in front of me, and I was like...
And his, with the 390, he was like, sunroof up. And I was like, this is not what I was thinking about right now.
Well, it's just funny, because you are the big sunroof up man.
Yes, but whenever somebody's blowing grass around you, I was like... so I think either one of my hoodies on, and the start of the grass started blowing in. But I didn't know what speed to go at, because he didn't know what speed to go at. I was like, should I be in like medium second? He was like, I don't fucking know. Fucking be grand, I'd say. And so I was like, right, we'll try medium second. Clutch clean hanging out at 390. So got going. And in them few short meters, so I was medium second, and he was like fucking flying on. I was like, fuck! So I was like pulling around the third, or medium third basically. And then next thing the grass started fucking flying into the window. I was like, get my fucking hood up, because I'm going to get clouded in grass. I decided not to bring the work trousers, which is these trousers here.
Yeah.
Down with me. Bad fucking decision. Mm-hmm. For all weekend, I was just paranoid of getting the good clothes dirty, you know. But I was like, fuck, well, this hoodie's obviously an old one now, whatever. And then I was sort of watching, fella and all the rest, and then all I hear was bang, and just the fucking PTO shaft just going around, like out the air, around the air. I was like, my head went, Fuck, if that had been the one connecting to the tractor, Jesus, what way is he not going to be? Because obviously he's in a cab, and all his protection is earmuffs.
Yeah.
All we heard after that was, for fuck's sake. 10 minutes later, fuck, it'd be grand to say so. You know, and I was like, did that just really happen? Did that just fucking happen? And then the best of it was, so we hooked the PTO off the major because the hydraulics only working hard with the PTO on.
Yes.
And then, like, he just set it there in the job bar and reversed it back, and it just fell off on the ground. He was like, fuck, drive on. And then he realised whenever he got to the gate, he was like, fuck. All there was, for fuck's sake. And I was like, I was like, fuck, what's wrong now? So I ran over, and he's like, he fucking broke the yoke of the second shaft because he tripped along the ground. And then
he just doesn't give a fuck. Like, that's not to say he's a bad driver or a bad pilot. The man can steer. He just
you do fucking rightly stuff. He does not a fuck to give stuff. And then you normally go into breakdown mode, and
he just laughs.
He just goes, fuck. And then you think, oh, maybe he's annoyed. All the rest is just going through your head. Oh, we'll give him a wee second. And then it's like 2 seconds later, fuck it.
Fuck it, should be grand. So,
and then I'd say it'd be grand. Yeah, I'd say. And then his next worry was, should we get the 7, 8, 10? You know, sure, we'll get the 7, 8, 10 hooked up to the trailer and all the rest. And sure, we'll give you a go. That there. And I was like, right, no bother. Sure, I'll video. You not want to drive? No, no. You? Yeah, no, that's grand. After seeing the PTO thing go, and everything was well covered, but sure, if it's covered or not, it could break, you know what I mean? So, aye. He is the definition. His Facebook should say, I'm just a full-time mad bastard.
Yeah, he is a full-time mad bastard, to be fair. Like,
works at, fuck it, I'd say so.
So when ended up, we took the grass in then with a 7, 8, 10 for the cattle, because he's like, sort of zero
I took wee videos of yous.
Yes. And then we were like, right, okay, well, I guess we're going to have to fix this, because he was like, look, I really want to...
He's LED lights in the 390, doesn't he?
Yes.
He should prioritise the door.
Nah, aircon mode. So no, I told you, this is an aircon model. Back window and part of the one of
driving down the road. It was more in... Was it driving down the field or driving down the road? Either one of the two, and all it was in the head was keep the lights on. You know, to look cool. Even though there's a door missing, but anyway. Yeah.
Yeah, logic.
Fuck it.
But we were just like, right, so what we're going to do, and it's just the most typical sort of holiday we could end up having. So it was like, right, well, what are we going to do? So there's the three of us standing in the shed going, right, well, sure, we'll go to the lantern first, then we'll go across the road, then we'll come back, and then we'll see what we're doing. It's like, okay, grand job. So went down, done that, come back, landed in the shed after having a bit of food, and just went, right, what's the plan here? So we started literally, now, Jeremy just happened to have another harvester, similar-ish, lying in the yard. So that was the parts harvester. The gearbox was seizing her. So took basically the last PTO shaft. It bolts onto this weird flange. I don't know how to describe it, but basically
it's a flange with a yoke end on it.
Yeah, she done,
and she's got spring bolts on her to take the vibration out of it.
Yes, she done the yoke. She just sheared the yoke. So we were like, right, okay. We cut the flange off the other tarp, and then basically pulled everything apart, got everything cut together, and we were still at it. You went early, but me and Jeremy were still at it at 1:30 in the morning. Trying to get it fixed.
Got to my bedtime at 11:30, according to my watch, and just went, I'm fucking standing here like going round in circles.
Yeah.
My head's not going round in circles, I'm going round in circles. At that point I was like, let's go to my bed. I lay down in the bed and just died.
Yeah.
And then fucking following morning, heard you up, and I was like, well, what time you stay out to last night? 1. Fuck. And then, yeah, Go ahead.
So I was like, Sunday morning, we're like, right, we're not missing Ahiohill, we need to get this going. So we still had everything, because we'd spent the whole evening trying to fix stuff rather than arranging.
Can I just interject there?
Yes.
Now, obviously, I didn't know what I was going to be getting myself into at
Yes.
all. I assumed we were going to Jeremy's to meet Jeremy. Now, this is what I have been told. To meet Jeremy, to put in a wee bit of silage, which you had begged him to keep for us.
Yes.
Right? Which, obviously, I didn't know he just double chops and all that carry on.
Yes.
And then we were going to go to Ahiohill, or as we, at that time, were like, a hall, or a fucking what?
Ahiohill. Ahiohill. Yeah. It was Jack Wilson at Cheetah Racing actually corrected me, and I was like, we're going to Ahiohill. I went, Ahiohill. I went, okay.
Yes. So basically, I was like, oh, we're going to that show, and we'll see a bit of the action. Good crack. It wasn't until it dawned on me then when we arrived down at Jeremy's that no, we were going to be driving at Ahiohill.
What can I say? First-hand experience.
Aye, yeah. I was like, so just to put context into this, did we know where we were going? No.
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 Before you left to drive one of the machines to Ahiohill, you were like, where am I going?
Yep.
And I was like, I'll just drive the Jeep.
And Jeremy just goes, follow the signs. I was like, sound out, Captain. No bother.
Fucking hell.
So then we took the 7-8-10 down the next day after finally getting everything ready.
Everything fixed.
Took the 7-8-10 down.
Jeremy may have cut his shafts a wee bit too short.
So I had to go looking for another shaft.
And then he butchered a new one. And then he was like, no, the
Fuck,
best
it'd be grand, so.
No, the bit that what sums up Jeremy is this. He marks a shaft with a chisel.
We've all been there.
Yes, a chisel.
We've all been there.
And then the best of it is, he marks it. He cuts one of them to what he thinks is obviously the mark that he put on it. And then he gets the other new one. Oh, fuck. Sorry. Fuck. Where's my mark? And then he looked at me, he was like, do you think that's a bit... Connor, do you think that there's it? And I was like, aye. And then he got it, and then he went, for fuck's sake. And at this point, I think he was actually getting slightly stressed.
Aye, maybe.
And whenever he was like, Jesus, fuck. And then I was like, fuck, I am really in the road, and we're all really in the road, and all the rest. And then he's just like, be grand.
We took so I took the 7-8-10 down the road. You followed me. And
in the Amarok, yes.
Yeah. And then came back up, lifted the 390T. I jumped on the 390T, took the 390T down there.
7-8-10 done a glorious speed of 17 miles an hour.
Dual power not working in 4 high, so Jeremy was like, look, keep the revs off her. Don't go full out, because he goes, dual power's not working. He goes, you only have 4 low. So I was like, okay, fair enough. And wasn't going to disrespect the man's machine, so I just did what I was told. So that was okay, going out, but occasionally kind of keep holding the door closed because the wee latch broke. So I was like, fuck. But I have to say, I actually really enjoyed driving that 7-8-10. The only thing I would say about 7-8-10, I don't know how the likes of Emmett or PJ or any of these other boys drive them, is between second and third, it's like going here across the border, like it's some fucking distance going from second to third. I kept going to where I thought third would be, and it was like the middle.
Oh.
So I was like second, off, and then every time I went across, bang, third. But I have to say, see, whenever I got onto it, that thing just took gears. No fucking grinding or messing about. You put her into second, she was taking second. You went for third, she took third. Honestly, a very, very satisfying tractor to drive. I really, really enjoyed it.
So then we got back for the 390 in the major.
Yes. I ended up going on ahead, unintentionally.
No, not even. So I was like, fuck it, I'll follow in behind them anyway. And so I was behind Jeremy in the fucking major. Now, bear in mind, he had obviously a double chop with an extended spout on it.
Yes.
So we could reach into higher tillers.
Yes.
Fucking we get out onto the road, and no quicker he was on the fucking road to the spout, it's cleaned to fucking 3.5. So the spout, obviously you'd think, would have been pointing backwards.
Yeah.
But like you changed the position so it would be like sitting side on.
Aye.
So whenever you pulled it round with a hydraulic ram, it was still sitting half side on. And it fucking cleaned half the tree, and I was like, seen that, and I was like, right, awkward, this is in the ground now, drive around. And then there was a Land Rover, a Range Rover, like Sport or something, real fancy, behind me, in your pickup, for I thought, fuck, if I get a scratch in this thing. And then all I could think of was telegraph poles. This is not a wide road. And just fucking weaving in and out with the telegraph poles. And I mean, it looked from like the driver's seat in the Amarok that he was fucking that off the telegraph poles.
Probably was.
And then I was thinking, the fucking electric wires. He get killed. He just weaving in and out. So then after a while, the wee lay-by you had stopped and he stopped on the end. And like I jumped out and he was like, get this fucking spout round. In typical Jeremy fashion, we turned the spout round. He's like, okay, it'll stay there. I'd say, be grand. I'd say, yeah.
I'd say so, yeah.
2 meters later, yum. And then it was a weaving match. But then because Ahiohill's down like real old, roads basically not that wide,
yeah,
and you'd clean it and anything, it ended up we had to stop after it for like, he was weaving out, and I don't know if it's 10 foot wide, the harvest, the double
it's
chop.
right and way 8 foot anyway, I would say.
Put it this way, like, aye. But so that was grand. We got it round, we bolted it up so we made sure it would stay in its position. We got to the field, all was going grand, sort of half setting ourselves up. Realised that the first part of the day, all the grass that was left for the old vintage stuff was lifted.
Yes.
They were like, And then he was pulling the major...
Which I think Jeremy was actually really disappointed about, to be honest. I think he was quite annoyed about that, because man just loves machinery. Like, we're painting him out to be a big Wayne. He's actually a fucking gentleman. He's not slow either. Like,
no, definitely not.
He was like... and he just was like, is it all gone? Fuck's sake. That was the first time I was like, I properly was like, okay, no, he is actually a wee bit
annoyed about it.
Yeah.
So you're probably wondering why you've just heard that scream wipe sound that I normally do when I cut to transitions. And you'd be right, because this is another transition cut. And the reason being is we spent a lot of time talking about Ahiohill in this podcast, and we have our guest, Danny Toland, coming up. And I guess the joys of being able to edit videos is you can kind of manipulate the order of how you want things to happen. So rather than having the whole guest section at the end, we literally can fill out the whole back end of the podcast with the second half of Ahiohill and all the other watch news that come up, because we've still got IDC, we've went to Hugh Bars as well to look at some models. Like, we've a lot going on in this podcast. So instead, what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring in the Danny Toland segment now, and we'll continue with the second half of Ahiohill after that. So thank you for watching / listening, and I'm going to cut to our main guest now.
So this was recorded a couple of weeks ago, but had the pleasure of editing it today, and I was listening to it again, and I was like, this is fucking class.
Can I ask a question? Do I say fuck all on it?
You actually say more than you think.
Really?
Yeah, you ask the questions. Like, you just keep calling him a mad bastard.
To be honest with you, do you mind he said about the limiter or something? And then I said, oh, is it just you're trying to be a Honda driver? And I looked at me like, fuck
funny. I was listening to it because you hear me then saying, and if you're on Spotify and not watching this, you can just see the look that Danny is giving Connor right now.
It's like,
it was pure just a grimace. Like, I was like,
not even, it was just like
deadpan.
No. just no.
But yeah, so our guest, as we've already said, Danny Toland, needs no real introduction. The man is an absolute fucking header, probably as much of a header as Jeremy.
But as we did find out, he is a made man.
Yes.
A real hard working made man.
Serious hard worker.
He is at things whenever I was driving a Polo that I could only dream of even now.
I have him on Snapchat, the man works. Like, he knows how to live, but he knows how to work. So also, Danny, if you're listening to this, Longford, 14th of September, no balls if you don't come over. Here is our guest, pleasure to record with him, Danny Toland. In 3, 2, 1.
No balls.
So we've started from the start again.
Yes.
Yep.
Sweet.
Yep. Sweet.
Take 4.
No, genuinely, like, this is like, oh fuck, I'm actually starting to go red. Like,
I know.
Oh no!
I know. You're
I
in a
know.
white t-shirt is worse too. It's
I
more
know,
noticeable.
fucking an old fucking pasty white skin as well. We've Danny Toland here with us this week, but I've already introduced him before, but we've lost the audio.
About 16 times.
We've talked about this. Normally, everything sort of goes half okay. We normally have one or two hiccups.
Danny hasn't called you Shay yet, so it's not too
No,
bad.
it's not too bad. You did call
yeah.
me Shay in the in the video.
Did it make the video?
You did make the video.
I
I
did
was like,
because
fuck, when
I
watched
was
it.
just trying to sort of say he's going sure. He's not saying Shay, he's saying sure. But I knew he'd said Shay, like
Yeah.
And no, we were chatting, Danny. Like you were saying about coming on the pod, and I was like, "Well, that's grand. When are you going back to Australia?" And you're like, Tuesday." And I was like, "Okay, so that really just leaves Monday." And
After
you're
you
like,
previously trying to get me on
"Yeah."
the pod.
So I actually
after
wanted
rally
you.
weekend.
Yeah, I wanted you to come on with Shay Lahern because two Sarah men.
Yeah.
Shay had won King of the Cone, and you'd won Ignorant Bastard. Yep. Which just kind of like So a lot of the reason for bringing you on is just a bit of a crowd favourite because you're a complete ignorant cunt.
You're an
When
ignorant
it comes-
bastard.
When it comes to cars, like so.
The only man that needs a hand throttle put in a Sierra. And I've had to explain that now 3 times.
I know it's to kind
And
of got
that
the
will
stage.
be done. That
But it's
will
kind
be
of got
done.
to the stage where everyone else will hear this and go, "That's funny." We're sitting here going, "After
we played it.
we've kind of outplayed
We're
it."
getting there though. We're nearly past 3 minutes. So it'll be fresh. it'll be fresh stuff after
I'm
this.
just glad you've patience. You sure I tell you land at 7:30. Connor lands at what after 8:30,
8:30.
and it's probably 9:30 now.
It is after 9:30.
After 9:30,
That'd
so
be grand.
It's not like a man has a flight to catch.
Aye. And it's not like I stood my mother up for this. Coming up the road, she rang me, "Oh, do you want to go for dinner before you leave?" And I was like, no, I'm in Waterford or somewhere here. Like, "Oh, she'll be back down the road soon." I was like, "Nah."
Do you ever just feel like a wanker?
Don't worry, my mother's used to me being a wanker anyway, so...
I would say something there, but I'm not going there.
you didn't actually tell us that, but previously, so now, I do feel bad.
Dad.
Anyway, moving on. What got you into Sierras?
My uncle.
Your uncle.
That's how.
Now I already know this because we've already talked about this
Yeah.
in the fucking editing.
Tell us more about your
Tell
So
uncle.
tell us
about it.
more about what we already know,
Yeah.
but the listeners won't know, but we know. So,
Right.
I hate,
So
I hate this sometimes.
Stop breaking the fourth wall.
he was years ago, like back in the 2000s and all that, was the man bringing Sierras not out of England from when he worked there.
When they were probably like £200.
Yeah, he was picking them up every week around the streets of London,
Mm-hmm.
driving them back, fucking hashing the shit out of them and selling them on, taking them to tracks and all that. Ahiohill, he used to come up to Ahiohill.
What age was your uncle at the time?
He would have been like in his 20s, early 20s.
And where is home? Where is your uncle?
Glanties.
Glanties, County Donegal.
Yeah.
Middle of nowhere, turn
Take it
left
in,
kind of job.
your mother or father, whoever is his brother or sister, are like older in that family then?
The uncle would be... the uncle's the youngest.
Ah,
And then my father would be the oldest.
Mm-hmm.
Out of, them. So it is.
so he's more like your big brother, technically.
A wee bit, yeah. But he was the Sierra man. Like, that's all he ever had was Sierras, and then a couple of 325Is and that. But he still has one Sierra left. It's the one I always remembered when I was younger. It was an immaculate burgundy, fucking Gia, and he had all the Cosworth bits, the leather, everything was brand new put in this car, and it has probably done 20 mile in the last 9 years.
That's kind of a sin.
It is a sin, but
But-
he is it's got a bit of TLC. It's starting to come back out now, which is good. But he's been away working in Canada, and
too busy
to
drive it.
America, and Australia as well. Like, so he's never been around to drive it. So he kept
Fair
it.
enough, like.
But back when I was about 14, he gave me a white GT.
Ooh,
No, not GT, XR4i with the blue pinstripe.
was that a 4-wheel drive one?
No, it was not the 4-wheel drive variant, but it was still a 2-litre dock.
Oh, XR 4x4 was the
She used the XR4i
Yes.
with the blue pinstripe and the white bumpers and all electric windows and all, and he gave it to me with welded diff, and that's how I learned how to start, wrecking and everything around the yard, and then got into Lexus and stuff. But
Oh, sorry.
that's kind of
You have to dabble.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we've all been there.
But
like.
I had the Sierra bug then, kind of from that, and always his Sierra was always in our yard, and I was like in the shed, and I was like, I want one. And it, because I had the hatch, but it wasn't the best. Over time, it just got rotten. Still have it sitting there, like.
Well, I know you did say originally GT, which is alarm bells going off my head, because GT seem to rot more than any of the rest of them, but the XR4s have been known for going bad.
No, it was just the way it was kept. You know, and it was in the elements all the time, like, because you didn't care about it in a sense, because it was only worth a couple of £100 for a couple of years. Now the last 3-4 years, they've just started really going up.
I give $23.50 for mine, and that was 9 or 10 years ago. Like,
and that's big money, probably.
That was big enough money back then. I was turning down ones at like £1,600 and £1,800, and bought mine. She had a Cosy bumper and all, and she was a good enough car at the time.
You know, swap a D turbo and.
Yeah, I had a 306 D turbo, and the fella who was selling her, I think Larry talked about this in the last podcast as well. The fella who was selling her had the Sierra, and I had a D turbo, and he was looking $23.50, and I gave him £900 plus my D-turbo. 306. Yeah, to $23.50.
Yeah.
So I thought that was a good enough trade. Like,
aye, damn right.
Well, the way D turbos are going,
I had a couple of them too over a bit of a time.
Well, the South wouldn't be big for diesels compared to.
Well, the only reason I had them was I won them in a raffle.
Oh, seriously?
oh, fair enough.
Yeah, I won 3 in a raffle.
I wouldn't won fucking AIDS in a raffle. Not even joking.
Oh, see the 1 to 47 raffles, I always clean up for them.
Oh, like Southern raffles?
Or like the 1 to 59s.
Aye.
You could see like them big ones, and all the wee small ones. Everybody was doing them.
Yes.
All the time. I was always they're only like 15, 20 quid.
Mm-hmm.
I went to them all the time.
The only one I ever won was I used to have this blue Bora, and she was a hip, and then I sold her to Owen Maguire. Owen Maguire knew she was a hip. Then he put her up for raffle because he couldn't get rid of her.
And you won it back.
I won her back.
Not worse than that.
And I was literally like, I was just like, fuck me, if I won this car, like, I was like, I literally would consider torching it, because it gave me so much hassle when I owned it. And
sure, you put on the message to say it wasn't clogged, look at the MOTs, all matched up. It just happened to be the year before the MOTs were shown.
So when I looked it up, the
yeah.
MOTs only went back to 2010.
Aye.
And it turns out some man had got a wee bit trigger happy in 2008. But it wasn't till later I found that out. So I was like, no, this car is actually quite solid. And then we were like, oh, by the way, Michael, we looked up your MOT there for the crack. We were looking through your MOTs, and now it shows back to 2006. And I was like,
nice.
Right. And you may want to look at 2008. 133, 2009, 88.
Nice.
I was like, okay. Car's now got like 160 on it, so it's big mileage. Yeah, sweet. Yeah, cool. I always wanted a Bora, and that car kind of nearly put me off Boras.
Yeah.
I have another Bora, so I getting the gearbox sorted at the minute, but yeah.
Always wanted one, but never had one.
You've never had a Bora?
Mark IV, and that was about it.
Yeah, had a Golf. I had
GT, TDI,
Oh, weapon.
130, black, 3-door, Recaros, bog standard, kept it standard. Drove the shit out of it because I had it in England.
Fair enough.
£400. Me and her actually talked about this going up the road.
My heart breaks
About
like
it.
you're not. So a 130 then, or what would it have been?
130,
130, 6-speed, black,
Recaros.
3-doors, rear Recaros.
Yeah.
Sunroof.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's, if that was something like 130,000 mile, that's probably what. There would be some buck would be charging like 38.50 for it today.
115.
115k.
do you still have this?
No, sold it.
Fuck.
No interested. Drove it out of England and came put a Snapchat on. I said, first man with good cash offer, take this off the street now.
And like, what did you get for it back at the time? Like 12.50 or something, probably.
It was 2 years ago I had it actually.
Oh, well then.
They were starting to make good, decent money. I got 1,800 for it.
It's not
Sterling,
bad.
like, so I was happy with that. And all I had to do was put a fresh MOT in it.
Yes.
It was £80 on the phone call. So it was.
You wouldn't do that.
What?
Who said that? What?
Where'd you get those?
80? What? Well, where do you get £80?
But you must be in the,
I know, I can't get them anymore. At Chrissy Poe Higgins.
Yeah. Yeah.
Robbing me.
Yeah. Moving swiftly on. See, I always had you down as a Lexus man, because that's where I had seen you coming through the likes of UGD and stuff like
Yeah.
that. So I had always seen you in them groups.
Aye.
I didn't know you were a
I
Sierra
was
man.
always a Sierra man, but it was just I never could find the right cars at the right time. And then next minute, stuff's just started popping up in Marketplace and over in England. I started buying more Sierras, and then just sold a couple, and then just kept buying and buying as we're chatting. Everybody thinks I just have the one blue CVW.
I thought you just had the two. I thought you'd CVW and that white one, KMT or whatever.
LMT,
LMT,
yeah. Everybody just thinks, I only one or two. No, I think it's 12 in the yard. I need
cheaper by the dozen.
Huh?
Cheaper by the dozen.
But are you like? I'm going to assume, go out on a limb, you've just happened to find all these at the right money.
At the right money.
You haven't overpaid for any of these cars, I presume.
LMT is currently my dear Sierra, $2,500. One owner from new, 2-litre GLS, stack of history, original letters from Ford saying thank you on your purchase and everything, stamped Dagenham Ford, original Dagenham Ford dealer or plates are still with the car. The list goes on what that car has.
Is that staying mint then?
How are you? But like, honestly, like how have boys not caught on? I'm actually you're speechless. Like, how have boys not caught on in England? Like the price of what these cars
are. They have
are.
caught on, but nobody will pay it. The car originally was up for $6,500.
Right.
It was the next door neighbour selling it for the old lady that had it.
Yes.
She lived in Dagenham, which wasn't far from where I was living in London. And I went up. I said $6,500. I said this thing I would want to be mint. Just to pass the day, I went up after work, looked around there. I was like, yeah, she needs a wee bit of touch up paint here and there, with sun damage in places. I was like, I'll offer him 5.5. And I was cringing. I was like, please don't say yes to this offer. Like, he laughed me off the street, and I walked away and says, I'll be back for this car. A couple of months went by, car wasn't shifting. Plenty of people texting, looking. Nobody, he was taking nobody's offer. At least he was going to take was 6.2. He said to me.
Right.
I said, it's not even your car to sell. This is the lady next door. I said, obviously you're taking a big cut out of it.
Our ladies probably said, take £1,500. You keep the rest.
Yeah, that's what exactly was going on, because he went away, got it MOT'd, and got it washed up and everything for him. So I was like, nah, I'll be back for this car. So months went by, started a price drop, and it came down to $4,500. I was like, no. This was the week before I went to Australia. So I was sitting there, I had an X5 bought in England, and it was my last weekend in London. It dropped down to 4.2. And I was like, I can't text him because he won't let me come down and look at it. So I got one of the boys to text me, and he goes, yeah, come down and have a look. Need the car gone, I'm buying land or whatever. So that was fine. I pulled up, knocked on the door. How are you getting on? Why are you here? I said, I'm here to look about the Sierra. I was texting you. Oh, you were here before. And I says, yeah, you should have took me $5,500. Oh, what are you going to offer me now? I had $3,500 cash. I says, there you go. And he goes, And him and Hammond. I said, right, no. So I went away again, left. And he just pissed me off. I had him offered 3.5, and he still said no. No. And I was right. I'm away. Went back to the pub. We were in Liverpool. Another week went by, and it was a couple of days before I was leaving for England to come home for my last week. Price dropped down to 385 on Facebook Marketplace. Got my mate to text me. Lad it down. And his wife was here every time she seen me trying to deal with him. And I already spent $1,000 of this cash on the piss over the last week in London and Liverpool. I says, no, down. Had $2,500 cash left up to the door. Him and a habit. And the wife came out, took the $2,500 cash, threw me the keys. Good luck, lad. Enjoy the car.
He was probably fucking
I could pick his jaw back up, but it would just fall back down. He wasn't impressed with her, but when a woman says that's it. Yeah.
Yep.
So, and then I turned around and said, you should have took my 5.5 when I first offered it. And he was, and I just jumped and drove off. But the wife was happy, I think, to just get the cash, get the car off the street and give the old lady what she needed.
Yeah.
I was just
your mum probably was still making £1,000 even at
easily,
that.
Or more easily than that. But I wanted the car because of the history.
Yes.
Because you will never buy a car. You'll buy minis this year, but you'll never buy one with that history.
The folder in mine is like yours.
Yeah.
It's got all the old MOTs, old insurance documents, old tax books of the many owners had over the years. But despite having my car's had 8 owners, but it's 14 in the tax book. I'll tell you why.
Back tax.
No, I had it in my name. No, sorry. Connor McKeown, who I used to work with, he bought it. Then I think he put it in his dad's name because he couldn't get insurance on it.
Yeah.
Then he put it back in his name. Then Pat got it. Then I got it off Pat. Then I put it in my ma's name.
Insurance.
And then I put it back in my name. So over like 3 owners, it got like 6 registered keepers.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, by the time it had come back around, it had like 14 on it, and I just looked and I was like, well, I'll probably be the last one here,
Yeah.
like, so it doesn't really matter a fuck. But
I think I'm the 4th owner of the Type R.
if even,
That's not bad for a Type R.
there was 77
Original-
in that car when he got it.
74. No, 74.50.
Not bad for a
And
Type
I've
R.
put 30 on it since I've had it. And that's
4 years.
I come up to 4
That's
years
a lot
now.
of, yeah.
Most of that.
Sorry, I had to
Where's
put
your
that
car
in.
at, lad? Aye, fuck up.
Before we come on here, I did say to you, I said, oh, I'm glad I got that out of my system, but no, I had to like give, I had to say it there.
So let's talk a wee bit about CVW, because realistically,
That's why we're here.
that's why we're here. Like,
Yeah.
so you're known, as we've kind of alluded to at the start. Although, pause. I'm just going to check we're still recording.
See if it's not.
Deadly.
Who's burning something?
Probably my car.
Hopefully not my car. Must be bushes or something.
Ah, no, it's wood, like. So, like, yeah, so CVW. So, as we alluded to at the start, you're kind of known to be a bit of a mad cunt in these circles.
Yeah.
Why are you this way?
Well, I don't know.
It's called ADHD.
No, don't have that.
No.
I got checked. Don't have it.
Actually,
don't have it.
Do you watch
Don't
too
have
many Honda videos that they're in the rev limiter?
it. I think my face is enough to answer that question.
for anybody who's listening to this on Spotify, the look Danny just gave Connor was fucking hilarious.
Well, how to get my wee bit into, you know?
You're just trying to get back at me now. But no, why I'm the way I am, just like to enjoy myself. And if I can go in somewhere and put a show on and make somebody laugh or, you know, smile, I'm happy, you know. Go in and just have a bit of fun and enjoy yourself and everybody else enjoys themselves.
See, if you only had the one Sierra, would you do it?
Oh, fuck yeah.
Fair enough.
That would not stop me. Not a hope. But like, ever since like going to like Ferry's Yard and Manor and Nuts Corner in Lexuses and like track cars, I would go into my good cars too. And I would still be a bit loose, but wouldn't be as mad because they were my real good ones, like. And then when I'd go in a track car, just would go mad.
Trying to get every wall.
Well, I wouldn't be like smacking it off the walls. You know, like nice to get nice.
You'd be trying to tap a
close
wall.
and, you know, make it look nice, that kind of way. Not just go in and just be ramming it off it and then ruining, you know, just making the car not drive for the rest of the day. Just go ahead and have a bit of fun. Always was like that with the Lexus over the years. And then, as I said, PTA, watching videos of that when I was younger.
Shout out to Chrissy Higgins.
Shout out to Chrissy Higgins, yeah. I was like,
What's your claim to fame with Chrissy, Connor?
Well, I went to school
we had
then.
the same class as them.
Wasn't same class, same year, girl.
Same year, right. But no, that's...
We're old. We're so fucking old. Like,
You trying to say Chrissy's old too?
yes, you're old as well, Chrissy.
he is, yeah. Now that I'm drinking with him when I was younger, growing up watching his Snapchats. But anyway, no, always seeing him just cut the fuck out of PTA. I was like,
I mind PTA being about. Like,
Yeah.
I honestly,
Like-
I'm not going to try and claim Andy's asshole too much here, but Chrissy Higgins was the man that made hatches cool.
yeah, he did.
Because everybody had the
Hated
sass.
them. Everybody hated hatches.
You couldn't
like,
give a hatch away.
Nah.
He had EOG, which was the wee white hatch, and I can remember seeing him. He started doing the 360s and all in Nuts Corner.
Yeah.
And then the next thing, him and Kieran McKenna came out, and he'd got PTA, and Kieran had his white hatch, and like Chrissy was putting up all the videos, and rightly or wrongly, and I'm
the
not going to.
GoPro videos and all, the Fahadui, and yeah, they were the videos I was just like, and then the Halloween one. With the outfits, I was like, "This is class."
Him and like
then-
Ewan Glass and a couple of others all doing the
yeah,
the Arab drifting. Yeah,
But then-
that was so funny.
Donegal Raleigh in the old King of the Cone Yard. He came in.
He did.
and just lit the place up.
Yes.
I was like, "That's just class," and then kept going with my own Sierras, like, and I had a couple of really good ones. I was like, I can't go wrecking in these. So one day I was flying back to England, and in Belfast Airport, I was sitting there just going through the marketplace, was flying into Birmingham. Blue sap popped up. Project kind of had a different coloured greyish bumper on it.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, it had a textured front bumper. Paint jobs, but scabby on her, needed touch-ups. Had a red boot lid. Explains why the inside's still red.
Yep.
And had a Cosworth twin light back bumper.
Yes.
It has the different float at the bottom.
It was an RS?
An RS one,
Same
yeah.
as what I have.
But it had a bit of crack and all in it, but
Sure.
it's but definitely ruined it anyway now.
Yeah.
But I had all that, and I said, that doesn't look a bad car. 2-litre twin cam, originally 1.6. It's like, go have a look at it. So text him there in the airport. I was like, I'll come now. Where are you? And he's Manchester. I was like, fuck. And landed into Birmingham at 7. Had to drive 2 hours up the road. Looked at it. £1,200. I wasn't leaving it behind me. So had no interior, no sunroof. Paintwork was just a mess in it. But I was like, nah, $1,200 is gonna get this home. Bit of a project. Maybe sell it on. So got the kit, everything off Adam Clyde. Had the wheels. I got them for £25 in a raffle. So I had.
Jesus Christ.
So
You might have a bit of luck about you too.
Oh, we bit. But got her home, and she kind of lay around the yard for a long time. And coming up to Easter Sunday for Port Rush, I was looking around and I was like, nothing's quite just ready yet. And of course, I had to pick the one that needed the most.
The one that was quite the least ready.
Yeah, no sunroof, no interior, no nothing.
So no door cards, no...
Nothing.
Is there a sunroof on her now?
Yes,
There's
but
sunroof
I have a
and-
good story about the sunroof that went into her.
Fair enough.
So we put her all, I tried to buff up the paint work that was on it to try to cut down the time limit of how long this was going to take.
Was it like trying to put out a fire with a can of petrol?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it got the paintwork middling where if you stood from here to your IS300, it would look good. I was like, that'll just do for doing lap support. So painted up the Cosworth kit, the boot, the bumper, got all that, and got the car paint matched, to try to get the right crystal blue.
Yes.
Put everything on, and the boys were stood in the shed with me. And this was Thursday, before Easter Sunday weekend. Thursday evening. I looked at the car and I was like, no, I'm not going to Port Rush like that. 50 shades of blue.
The kit probably being well done.
Yeah. Well,
Against
not well, but it was
Reasonable.
a lot better than what the paint was
Yeah.
on the
reasonable standard.
car. Just made it, and I was like, no way, I can't do that. But I still committed to having the car out. So I went back down to Letterkenny, got more paint, came back up. Boys were started into sanding the whole car down. That
Jesus Christ.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, that following Friday morning, the car was out of the shed, fully Cosworth kitted. Just had, what was to go on? The rear spoiler, lower it down a bit, and weld the diff and cut the springs. And Friday night, I was doing laps of Letterkenny.
Paint still wet.
Dry. And it was water-based paint too, so it takes even longer to dry.
Do you have like a spray?
No, just a shed.
Did you do anything like wetting the floor?
Wet the floor down and water-based paint, so there's very minimal dust that actually got into it, only on the roof and a wee bit in the bonnet. So when I cleared her, I didn't really care. I just knocked the head off it and buffed it then, just because I knew I was going to start going wrecking in this car. I didn't want an absolute mint paint job on it.
Just enough to look.
She looks the part. And
Takes a good photo.
Yeah, I was happy with that. Looked and I was like, fuck, that was real clean. Everybody was like to me, where'd that come out? And I was like, even my own mother came out to the yard. She's like, where'd you get that? I was like, that's the one you and Dad collected in Derry for me off the transporter. And she was like, no way. I was like, yeah, that's that car. So we were waiting for, or went to Ferry's yard then the Saturday. So there was a dodgy throttle cable on her. It was like all shredded.
Aye, mine was like that.
Kicked her out at one of the junctions, and just outside Donegal town. Throttle cable snapped.
Oh.
And I was like, ooh. So got her pushed around, and we pushed her down the hill to the pub. And we then had a couple of pints while we waited on the new throttle cable to come.
As you do.
Yeah, so got the new throttle cable, threw that in, and then decided to head through the gap, Barnesmore Gap, heading for Ferry's Yard.
Yes.
There's a big line of traffic, and I was like, fuck, out round them, flying up the wee hill through the Barnesmore Gap. Next minute, you hear like suction noise, and I was like, "What's that?" Looked up, sunroof just left it out of the car.
Fucking hell.
Literally, I
Just
put
left
my
the chat.
hand up to try and catch it. I was just like, what was I going to catch? Like, just went flying out of her. I was like, that's all right. Drove on to Ferry's yard. No, like, it took the rails and everything. It took the whole sunroof out. I was like, right, that's sound. Way down to Ferry's yard. She shit herself.
Oh.
Just cut out. Wouldn't work.
Did you put a sunroof skin around an into her? Or if she had no sunroof?
Was a sun, like,
Oh,
she
she was
was a
sunroof.
sunroof.
They're all,
but
they're nearly all sunroof.
unless it's like a Spanish or no, there's some weird ones that come without it. South African imports.
Red.
They
Okay.
don't really have sunroofs, but no, there was no sunroof in her.
Oh, right, okay.
But the whole,
Oh, I know what you mean now, yes.
So I put in an actual sunroof. We thought we put it in well, but we didn't. And in the ferries, next was just lay down, and I was like, typical fucking Sierra. So we got her back going, and she never lay down until the weekend. This weekend.
We can get on to that in a bit.
Yeah.
And then, so when was that? That was Ferries. Was that 2023 or 2022 or
2023?
last year?
Yeah,
Then?
last year. Yeah, this was last year. I should just have her over a year and a half, but
Right. Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Fuck that car owes you nothing after seeing what you done to
I
it.
know.
Literally owes you nothing.
But literally, see, after that day where she cut out in Ferry's yard, that was her first weekend out. After that, she never, ever gave a day's bother.
That car got nothing but death.
I know.
Like that car
I went
literally gets
to the
nothing.
quarry that Sunday then, off Easter Sunday, up there. The only thing she was doing, what was annoying me, because I had the front of her lowered, but I never rolled inside of the arch. So
Stripped
she
the
was
arches.
catching on the arches, rolling
Yes.
the arches out.
Standard.
That was the only thing that was annoying with me. So I raised her up a wee bit and rolled the arch, and she was sound ever since. I broke one front lip on her, and then I put the Laguna on. And then, yeah, that's just kept putting oil in her and petrol. And
They
just,
do like oil. Well,
mine just spits it out. It doesn't burn it. It just
Oh,
spits
no,
it out
mine
around
burned it.
everywhere else where it shouldn't be going. And then exhausts. That's the only thing then it didn't like.
so we'll get on to that then now because there's kind of a run on trend with this list.
Yeah.
So Donegal last year then, was that your first time in the top 16?
Yeah, so that was my first time actually going into King of the Cone.
Fair play.
Right.
So it was, no, apart actually from one time when I was 16, I'd done a couple of laps in my friend's Lexus. That was about it.
On like the Sunday or something?
That was in the old yard.
Aye, like the one where
Yes.
basically we all now park up.
Yeah.
Yeah, where everybody
Yeah.
lines up.
Yeah. In the old yard, which I really like, the old place.
I like the old yard. I
It's
thought
good.
the old yard was good crack.
Yeah.
It was
I
smaller
like-
and a bit more commanding.
Yeah. Bit more technical in a sense, a bit tighter, like.
Yeah.
But it was
More carnage.
That's where I kind of done there once and never done King of the Cone, and then had the Sierra. And I was like, oh, I have to kind of go to King of the Cone with the Sierra. But I had no handbrake, no nothing. And I was like, just go again and send it, like. So I went in and got comfortable in her, driving her with the clutch and everything, and just kind of flicking her a bit more to slow her down going into cones and that, because I didn't have the handbrake to do it. The only thing I didn't like that year, couldn't do big loops, round everywhere else, link the track or the
Because
slab a bit
you
more.
don't have the instantaneous pull yet.
So I had no handbrake. Tried to get a handbrake and it wouldn't work. I just gave up.
Why did your handbrake not work out of curiosity?
I put in new cables and all, and I don't think we had adjusted it the right way. or
Okay.
something. Some boys were telling me there's a bit of a process, but I just threw it in the same way it came out and still just didn't want to work.
I can't get my Hydro or my normal handbrake to work properly.
No.
Hydro's a 0.7, but I think you need
You
to put
want
a
a 0.65? Yeah, that's what I have in mine.
Aye, that's what I think
Yeah.
Gareth Harn has in his.
Yeah,
and-
now you need the 6.5
Aye.
in yours.
Aye.
But there was people telling me if you've drums, your handbrake will just lock, deadly. Mm-hmm. And then you have discs, it's harder to get the actual latch to. It'll work to stop the car, but it won't lock the back wheels.
That won't bang.
Yeah.
That's why Lexus lock so well, because they're a disc and a drum.
Yeah.
Lexus is of a savage handbrake,
Yeah.
even just for the.
Well, I think it's just with the disc back end, and as once it goes, because my white sap, she will lock fairly well, especially in the wet, on a disc back end. But it's just whatever way it's been from factory hasn't been pulled by the old guy
Yeah,
that
stupid.
used to drive
Yes.
it. So it hasn't. But no, that tops or that King of the Cone, I was fucking well buzzed, and then Saturday I had no idea I was going to get picked for top 16 or anything. And Donald Holmes was doing the video one, and I know Donald well enough, and he was, as you come in, the king of to go onto the slab, he was stood there doing the video, and I was just, get out, stretch myself, went up and chatting to him, and then next time I got tapped on the shoulder, Danny Toland, I was like, yeah, and I got top 16. I was like, alright, sound, no why. I was like, I'll fucking do this with a crack.
Well, what sort of feeling was that? Because the first year Shay was buzzing to get that top 16. So
see, I didn't go in to try.
You had no
get
expectations.
I had no expectations. I was going in, no handbrake. I'm just going in for the laugh, like.
he said himself he was going in for the
to get it.
Yeah,
like
he was going in for it. Like
Yeah.
hell or high water, he was
he
getting
wanted
it.
Yeah. No,
Your life in a nutshell, Donnie, just seems to be have the crack.
Have the crack.
Fuck everything, just have the crack.
Have the fucking crack. As long as you wake up in the morning, you're still there. Fucking send it. Literally. But just, I was like, oh, fuck yeah, we'll give this a go. Sure. Had a good old buzz. And we, got told, go in, do this run, and be put into the, they lined us up in the field. Mm-hmm. So I was like, shine, out and around, parked up, and just kind of didn't really know anybody. And I was like, all right. And then next time I bumped into Dana Murray. Mm-hmm. I know Dana.
Yeah.
I know a couple of her friends. So I was just chatting away to them all the day. And Dylan Wilson was going around. He was parked beside me.
Yes.
Everybody was checking tyre pressures and that. I was like, geez, these are taking this very seriously. Like, and so everybody was going around. Shay King was in. They were all checking tyre pressures, and a couple of boys in coops and that, and all checking over the cars. I thought, maybe I should look at mine. And my friend Brendan O'Donnell was with me, and he was in the Buckfast.
Standard. King of the cone practice. Yeah.
He was the co-pilot. Like, so I was like, geez, better if we look over my own car. I checked her for oil. I was like, a bit low, but I don't have anything to put into it. Put the dipstick back in there. Opened up the expansion tank. I was like, geez, there's nothing in there. And I was like, don't have any water. And I was like, Brendan, give me the bottle of Buckfast. I take a sip out of it. The expansion tank.
That explains it.
Yeah, literally
That explains it.
That's where the Buckfast went, into the expansion tank. So that was her.
Well, no fucking wonder. She's an absolute mad going car.
Fuck, you're a mad bastard.
Just kind of closed it because there was a couple of boys looking at me and they're like, he's just poor Buckfast in the expansion tank.
Maybe you should put Buckfast in your expansion tank.
No, I might have a heart attack and lie down again.
Just, that was kind of that.
Must have good cooling attributes all the same.
My temperature gauge goes like that.
Your temperature doesn't work.
No, it does work. It stays like that, but then after about 5 minutes, and then when she goes to the block, it goes like that. But then I just keep it there. And then when I come back out, it goes back down. I'm like, this is a great wee car. Great wee car.
I can just remember last year.
Michael, I drive somewhere. Bang. Danny, I have no coolant. I just need. Yeah. Here, give me the Buckfast to fuck.
I can just remember last year, because last year particularly, like, and this is kind of where you get.
You know when you were saying the cars coming in?
Yeah.
Because I seen they were starting to get everything organised after the guards. I was like, fuck it, I want to be the first person in. Because after the guards, all the guards were parked in front of me.
Yes.
So I was like kind of one of the first, and I ran for the car. I was like, I want to be the first man to go in.
See,
here.
I wouldn't have the balls to do that, even if I was in the position to be good enough.
I want to be the first man that comes in here. And that's when I just, as you said, lit the place up.
That's because I was going to say, because like it was, Seamus McGillian comes over the mic and goes, he's like, first up now we've got Danny Toland, and I remember the music was going on.
Yeah.
This is my kind of thing of why, and this is kind of why I thought the madness was kind of taken away. I know they were trying something different with the top 16 run, or like Ken nearly trying to do it like the same way Drift Games did, where they bring in the parade lap.
Yeah.
But whenever the music came on last year and he called out your name, and the next thing you just hear bum, 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 bum. And it's just like you just come on full, and I think that's what I said last year, full guns blazing.
Yeah.
All guns blazing.
Yeah, full guns blazing.
I should have a video of that.
You probably still have a video of that.
There's a Snapchat sound you use talking about me on the pod. So there is. And then you hear in the background, because you just have a video of it, the car hopping to the limiter.
Yeah.
There's a staff. I'll send you the sound.
I didn't even know that existed.
Yeah.
I wonder is there any other random sounds of shit I've said.
Because it was my co-pilot that made it.
Oh, okay.
And every
fair enough.
night out, he was putting it up. Loads of people have it now because it's all over Snapchat. Anytime I would out now, it's called Tolan the Ram.
Send me that. That's
I
fucking
will
class.
send
I'm
you.
going to save that.
Yeah.
Hold on, have you...
Yeah, the slab was still wet.
Yeah, they let it dry longer this year.
Yeah.
I think I try to catch everybody for it's 8 minutes long, I think.
Aye.
Yeah.
Because we were standing on the hill recording last year, but we got ourselves in a good position.
Aye.
And then this year, being the big men we are, just
Alright.
able to walk in.
Michael opened his mouth and we ended up in
Aye.
the arena.
It's good to get it.
So then last year,
Well, got knocked out.
Aye.
It came up against Ryan O'Hare, good mate of mine.
yes.
Ryan was actually
Good pilot.
He was the first car I drove in King of the Cone years ago in the old slab.
Right.
Oh.
Yeah, so I bumped into Ryan.
That's
one
the blue
time.
Lexus,
Blue
isn't it?
Lexus,
So,
yeah.
what's up with his bonnet?
He raises it all up. I don't know.
Did it not? Was his bonnet not like grey coloured this year?
Carbon fibre.
Ah.
It's a Sibon carbon fibre bonnet. It's actually worth for quite a few bit of quid.
Oh, I thought. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What do you think, Michael?
I thought maybe
He
the
had
car
a grey
had been on-
Lexus last year,
Yes.
but he brought the blue one back out. But that was the
Yes.
first car I drove in King of the Cone in the old
So
slab.
is he from your part of the country? Is
No,
he?
he's from up, like past Nuts Corner there. He's up around this way.
Right.
Yeah. I met him years ago up in Nuts Corner, Oval, when I used to have the track cars up.
Yes.
So then I met him rally weekend. We always kept in touch through Lexus and that.
Yes.
And then met him rally weekend. He said, I'll take this thing in a run.
I didn't realize it was a carbon fibre bonnet. And that car
Yeah.
that makes me feel like a dick. I thought with the way the sun and the clouds had hit it, I thought maybe it had like.
It does look a bit grey, yeah, 'cause I thought it
Aye.
myself until I seen it in person then.
Aye, I never
Yeah.
got a chance to look at it properly. Right,
Yeah.
sorry, Ryan. Oops.
Yeah. But he was the first man I came up against, top 16. I was like, see how this goes. Because I know he is a handbrake. and
Yes.
A real good one.
Yes.
I was like, fuck, how am I going to work this? So I fly up to the line, stand on the brakes, so the two front wheels would lock up a bit, and kind of help. So stand on the brakes and kind of kick her at the same time. So done that, got past Ryan. I was like, sound. Paired up with Gary Kerrigan. I was like, don't have fucking hope here, like. But as I watched back then on the video, coming into the cone, sorry Gary, but a handbrake probably would have bet you. Came out. I was a good bit of a good, my front end ahead of Gary coming into the cone, but I had to slow down too much. That's where he came in lovely on the handbrake then and got ahead to me, because as we came to the end of the run, he was just that wee bit of couple of seconds ahead of me that I lost coming around the cone. So after that, I was like, I'm getting a fucking handbrake. Couldn't find a handbrake. Me and John Murray were trying to get, the
Same one I have,
ones,
probably.
yeah, that one. Nobody was making them because
Craig Brown makes them.
yeah, but he didn't. He started making them, and then that's where I got it.
Oh, okay.
Who was making them before
Stephen
that?
Broderick.
Yeah, he wasn't for making them, and
Oh, he hasn't made them maybe in 5 or 6 years. Look.
but that's where people were still kind of getting them
Yes.
off him, and I couldn't get one. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to try put like a drum back end or something in it because I need a handbrake. But no, eventually got one then out of Craig. I was happy with that for this year then what we just had. But no, that top 16 there, I was like well buzzed to be in it. Had a good laugh, and I was like, I'll be back better next year, and came back with handbrake. Still never changed my diff. I'll learn my lesson, but we'll get
Aye,
there.
because it's funny, you're talking about getting all technical. You're like, these boys are checking tyre pressures.
Everybody was getting technical.
But you said to me
I
this
was
year, you're
like-
like, if I had a 3.9 diff, I'd have been quicker. I have
If
a
I had,
3.6 in mine because I like the big long slides.
Aye.
Literally what you told me.
Yeah.
But you would, now
See,
you're...
after last year, I was like, no, I'm doing this, doing that. And I was like, fuck this. I was like, I couldn't be Irish. Came home, put a light and flywheel and clutch in her. Couldn't find a 3.9. Eventually got a 3.9. And then I was just like, nah, I couldn't be bothered taking the diff out of this thing. And just never bothered. Like, I says, 3.6 should do me. And then I think into the top 16 this year, when I got picked to go in, I was happy enough with that and bet Josh in the S14. But what I wasn't happy about was my exhaust snapping off just before the top 16.
This is
Oh, that was only just before the top
Literally,
16.
this
as
is
I
a common
came-
theme with you.
This is a common thing with me, sadly.
So this is what I wanted to say. Did that not happen to you last year as well?
Yeah.
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 Standard exhaust was on her. No, it wasn't. It was a bit of a standard exhaust and a bit straight piped. And it was a mixed match of an exhaust. But it just started snapping and into multiple pieces. And We had 2 meter iPhone chargers wrapped around it and tied up to keep it going over the
Fucking
weekend.
hell.
But at one stage last year, there was a video. You could see the whole exhaust just underneath the back bumper going like this, over and back.
So you were
just like a snake following me. So it was around the whole arena. Yeah. But it all stayed in kind of one piece.
Ish.
But it just was a flexible exhaust like this behind me. So we got that back together and it was just butchered. So,
because you were trying to put. I remember the morning we did the Sierra on. You showed up late because I think we were waiting on you.
yeah,
we were
do you
waiting
wanna
on
know
you.
why? Because I was in I was in London.
Yes.
Then I went to Albufeira, was meant to go back to work, decided, no, I'm going to stay in Albufeira for an extra few nights. Had no intention of the Sierra run. Then shout out to Rob Donnelly from Killarney. Bullied me into coming back for it.
Did he just tell you no balls?
He told me I had no balls.
This is a common theme.
So I said, fuck you, Rob Donnelly, I'm coming home for the Ford Sierra run. Got home, my boy looked at me, he's like, what are you doing here? I was like, taking the Sierra to the Sierra run. He goes, no, you're not. I was like, yeah, I am. He says, there's no exhaust in that thing, there's no tires on that thing. And I was like, I'll sort that out. Got tires off. Boy, I always get the tires off. Brand new set of 195 45 16s on there. Good.
Yep.
Fucking Kendas or something. Had a grey hatchback with a full straight pipe, stainless straight pipe. Bolted that on, but there was 2 different flanges. And I just butchered it to kind of make it work, so it had a massive exhaust leak. It
Yes.
sounded alright when you're like in 4th and 5th gear just cruising, but when you're in any other RPM, it just sounded like a bag of
limiter,
shite.
first and second gear, were you then?
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
sounded horrible. First gear. She does like second, it doesn't like second. Depends
Second
what
for
time.
sliding,
Yeah.
but not for maybe,
Nah, not for circles, but
not for circles.
yeah, fucking hammered it down the road for the Ford Sierra run.
Because I mind you
Was the
tell them.
last man pulling in.
Yeah, because we were waiting on you.
Yeah. The last ones to pull into the Clanry.
Yes.
And I was like, good weather. This is bound to be a good run. You know, some serious turnout that they did get for that event.
They got a serious turnout that year because
I was like, this should be good. Like,
the run in Newry before, I don't think Kieran was as happy with the crowd, and we said
No.
that we got a good crowd the first year in Donegal.
aye.
And there's
I
a lot of
was
shit.
raging I missed the first run in Donegal.
I missed it too as well because
Ah.
that's where they had the Duff Day at Aaron Hamlin's yard. I missed it as
Yeah.
well. I was fucking
I
raging
was
too.
raging because that run looked pretty good, but I think we topped it with.
That
This
run
one.
was actually genuinely one of the best days of the year for me last year.
Yeah.
It was fucking class crack.
Then every town along the way, and
Aye.
crossroads and town centre, kind of got it.
And what do you call the Memore Gap?
Aye.
I got a deadly video. You
Yeah.
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 So, you know when you come up that S,
yes.
you know at the start of that, I
Yeah.
started my burnout there, and I done a burnout the whole way up there. Now, these tyres were brand new at the start of
That's
this.
right. I remember
And
that.
only for my car was sat in the shed with the burners previous from Donegal, where I had one set of tyres that I didn't burn off.
Yes.
They were still in the boot with the set that got killed off during the block burnout.
Yes.
I was lucky I had them because I would have been ruined.
Yes.
So as in the videos, I started the burnout the whole way up, kicked her around, then kept doing the burnout the whole way up into the car park, and the tires were just wires everywhere in them.
If you go and see you'll see that in my TikTok or on our TikTok. You'll see the video. I know I'm not supposed to be promoting certain, but the road was closed.
Aye.
Private road.
Big burnout up. I was like, alright, that side looked good. I was like, I'll calm down now.
I got a serious good video. Like,
Yeah. And the view in the background.
Unreal.
So it was. And I was just like, oh, and you can't drive the rest of this run with them tyres on.
I remember you pulling up and just going, "Fuck's sake, these are only on brand new
Literally
this morning."
they were only put on her. Like,
So
I was
like-
like, I can't do the rest of this run. No way. Like, with these wheels on, I'll get done. And I was like, I opened the boot and I was like, oh, yes, a fresh set of burners. Eddie man had Jack running around. 2 boys come up with Jack. I had an impact gun. We got them swapped on. I was like, this just looks even rasher. Her
Yes.
in the middle of a run with a set of burners on.
Yes.
So kind of had a bit of manners then after that. Until me and Archie decided to leave.
Do you remember the man in the motorbike?
And the man, the hero, he's what kind of got me psyched up. I was like, I have to do something now.
Aye, we all took off from that, and I was sitting there looking just at my car, and I was like, I was like, I can't even fucking rev mine. And then just seen news, and I was just like, bastards. And then we all then took the run then the Donegal that in the Letterkenny. That was some fucking day.
Yeah, it was.
That was class.
After me and Archie left there, because I kept egging on to Archie. I was like, come on, we need one in the town, bite eating pints. Like, come on, we've done enough wrecking now. He goes, no, we'll go wreck here, and done that and drove on. And then there was just the class convoy, but we were all trying to dodge it too on the way back because there were cops everywhere.
There was a checkpoint at Manor Cunningham.
Yeah, on the duel apparently.
Yeah, and like,
so I was like, nah, I'm
same.
avoiding that.
Same.
So that's
I was
in
like,
the end up we didn't avoid it.
Yeah.
There was nothing there.
There was nothing there. So we all could have cruised down just the main road, like from there to Letterkenny.
Yeah.
No bother. But everyone was sitting going, like, I think I ended up going out, coming down, and then turning out. Like
going out to Ruffo and then up the back road. Yeah, because I was originally going to do that, and I was like, nah, I'm just going to send it.
See,
I was hungry and thirsty.
I know, I was coming up and I was like,
especially in your car on that road.
The only thing is, everybody was like, we had to go, seeing how much quicker our 2.9 was and all this here, and I was just sitting there going, I'd have fucking toasted every one of yous. Only the 4K, like.
If it ran.
It did run that day. It didn't start though at one point. We were sitting, there was one point we went to, we stopped into this bar, where I first properly got chatting to you.
Yeah.
And I went out.
Parked up for a good hour, weren't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I went out, turned the key, and the car wouldn't start. I was like, are you fucking kidding me? Finally, holding my foot to the throttle, she flooded herself, because I have big injectors in mine.
Yeah.
And at that stage, I hadn't the map set properly. And she flooded herself. So I had to sit basically cranking her till she got enough air in to get the air fuel ratio right. And then she fired up. I was fucking raging.
You should never took the dog out.
I think it was me, Archie and Kieran and somebody else in White Sap. Colm Dillon's car dealership.
Yes.
We were coming past there and we got some lovely videos of it was like kind of, two were in the hard shoulder and two were in the road, and we're all kind of overtaking each other, getting drive-by videos. And it was someone who was sitting on, Joseph was sitting on me, got a lovely video in black and white. And you swear it was like 2000s when he kind of took it.
Oh, that'd be class.
Because the video kind of went a wee bit blurry.
Yes.
So it looked like a real old video, like took it in Nokia or something. I was like, that's class.
That's actually
I must
unreal.
actually try to find the video.
Dude,
again.
that'd be class.
I was like, that's unreal, because Archie has a 3.9 or whatever was in his car.
4.2?
He says it's a 3.9, but everybody reckons it's a 4.2, but he told me it's 3.9.
Maybe he did have a 4.2 in it. I know that much. He had definitely had a 4.2 in it at one point.
Well, I think he's at 3.9 in now.
Right.
We were coming up I was the last car to come up onto the duel, and they're all kind of overtaking each other. I said, down a gear, giving her everything. And I was going past Kieran and Archie, kicking the clutch, trying to make her go quicker past them. And they slowed down just to let me pass. And I felt great. I was like, yeah. We have a 3.6 and out dead as a doornail going past them, but
I didn't think the 3.6 left them too bad. Mine used to have a 3.6.
You get a good long run,
but good old second gear.
Yeah. For, off the line, you'd want the 3.9. Mm-hmm. I'm still I don't know, will I change the diff or not?
I like the 3.6s personally.
I do like the 3.6.
I like the 3.6s. Yeah. I found the 3.6 far better. I have a 3.9 in my car now, although it doesn't really count because I have a BMW gearbox in mine.
But your ratios are all different.
My ratios are shite. I'm setting 4,000 RPM boosting at 70 mile an hour.
That's not fun.
No.
But then Gareth Harn is a 3.9 with a Type 9 gearbox.
Oh, short ratio as well.
But his car seems alright on the road, and it was dead on Nuts Corner.
Right.
But then again, he can sit going around Nuts Corner dabbing.
Gareth Harn told me he was going to take the plates off my car and run them on his. The bastard.
Gareth Harn has no balls. So he hasn't. No balls.
No balls.
No balls.
You hear that, Gareth?
Yeah.
Please don't take my plates.
He has no balls. Got me to fly all the way home from Australia and didn't even come and help me get CVW ready after he said he would.
Oh, what a wee bitch.
Yeah,
Gareth,
didn't he?
sort your life out.
Yeah.
Fuck's sake.
Wouldn't even come down and give us a hand.
Tragic. Some people.
Some people.
Some
cheek
people.
of him,
Cheek of him. Cheek.
To drive around a red rotten Sierra.
Nothing worse than a red. How long?
Yours is wrapped. It is maroon.
So then, leading on after that, then Donegal this year.
Yeah.
That was really. I was seeing a new level of you. last year, you were just having the crack.
Got me, got me name out there.
This year, it was whenever like I remember seeing you, and I was like, because I was chatting to you, because whenever we were doing the videos, like for the pod, like I was like, right, I'm going to make a feature video. Who am I gonna get? Who's going to be people I need to chat to? You were on the list, and I seen you. I just went bang over to chat to you
while I was trying to put my exhaust back on.
Yes. So this year, would you say it was touch and go with getting into the top 16, or did you think you had it?
I think Friday ruined it for me, because
hitting the bumper.
That too, but I was just having a horrible bad couple of runs. First run out, because I was away 7 months.
Yes.
Without, having
Anything.
a good bit of sliding.
I no practice at all.
Straight kind of back in it, while I had that day in Nuts Corner prior to that.
Were you at Nuts Corner?
That's
right, you were.
Before.
That's
that was
right.
my only warm up, and I still wasn't as comfortable that day up there.
Mm-hmm.
And then coming in, and I was just like, the weather on Friday was annoying me. It just pissing rain, shit vibes, and I was just like, nah. Had a couple of bad runs, and then was starting to get a bit giddy, and then Donald jumped in with me, and I started clipping the bumper, and I think it just made me look a bit bad,
rash,
clipping the bumper, but I didn't mind it too, because I was clipping and not walloping it.
Yes,
it didn't upset me. It didn't upset the car. That kind of way. Mm-hmm. It didn't whack it off and just ruin the thing. It clipped it, and it just bits were breaking off it. So I didn't mind it that way, but I think it made it a bit. No, maybe not. And then that's why I went in Saturday, and I said keep the head a bit level and concentrate a bit better. And then I was like, touch and go, because I didn't know. And then when the exhaust snapped off, and I threw it away, and
tell the story of the exhaust. That's quite a good story.
So the exhaust snapping off. So prior to that, I bought an Ashley manifold, because I wanted to try them out. So I bought a brand new one, and then typical a day later, after ordering it, found one Facebook Marketplace for 50 quid in England. So picked that up, and then didn't want to put on the brand new one.
Were you in England at the time, or?
It was over. I collected the car.
Yeah, okay.
Handy enough, so got it, and picked up the Ashley. And I was like, no, I'm not going to put the new one on. I'll put on this old one.
What's the difference in an Ashley manifold?
It's a better flow, and
I don't know.
The weight difference alone.
Is that just stainless?
Well,
no, it's mild steel.
Steel as well, yeah.
Mild steel.
Stock car men love Ashleys.
Yeah. Instead of a cast, you should feel a standard 2-litre Doc manifold.
They are
way
a
at
brute.
Yeah. So putting that in, I thought it would just help a bit better. Plus, I ravered the noise of an Ashley.
Is it a 4-2-1, or is it a 4-1?
It is a 4-1.
4-1, yeah.
It is a 4-1 branch, yeah. It wasn't actually 4 branches. They're called,
yeah.
But I don't know. I still think the standard cast manifold is a better job than an Ashley.
I've never even heard of an Ashley before.
Cold, as I learned, but
I think they're too thin.
They're very thin. They crack a lot.
Yes.
Now, that's what happened to me, but because I put it down to be in an older manifold.
Yes.
So I just bought it, throw it on, because I was going to put the new Ashley onto my white car.
Yes.
Originally, so when I had the two manifolds, I said that'll do the white car. So I threw it on and put a full brand new, or not brand new, second hand, standard line.
Second hand, brand new.
Yeah, good condition. Standard exhaust into a nice back box.
Yep.
So that there lure sounds nice, good back pressure, happy out. Car was going, going better, like, and that was sound. So Friday had exhaust problems because I clipped the bumper.
Yes.
And it ripped my rubber mounts.
Yes.
So eventually got a couple of new mounts, got everything back together, and that was sound. And then noticed an exhaust leak coming on towards the end of Friday. I was like, fuck this, put the back box on. I says, get me out of here. Pulled out early, because after I was chatting to you, that was me done.
Was it?
Yeah. After we had that interview, that was me done.
That was like 1 o'clock in the day. You weren't in for the rest of the day. That's
I
right.
was just, that's why I wasn't thinking top 16. No. So I was just like, nah, that's me done for the day.
Because you were candid, and now the way you mention it and the way you were chatting, you were just like, sure, give it a go. There wasn't the same intensity that I was kind of actually inspecting.
Nah, I was like, bad humour, head wasn't there.
Yes.
I was like, Friday was just a write-off. I was like, get me back to the hotel. So parked the car up and went in the beer for the rest of the day. So that,
As you do, yeah.
and
It's
then
Donegal, like.
got up Saturday and I was like, right, that has to be the day. So I was driving out and I was like, that exhaust leak's getting a wee bit worse. So jacked her up and could see there's a bit of a hairline crack in it, and I said, it should be alright. You know, there's plenty of good bushings in her now, like to stop the exhaust moving about and that, and tightened up the flange and the bolts to make sure everything was sound. Sound way in, no bother with the exhaust all day. Until the last run of the day that I was like, because it's way too busy, like the queues. I was like, that's the last one. I know they're going to start ready for the top 16 now. So I said, I'll go in and have one unreal run. I had a savage run, and I came down, flicked her on the limiter and to leave, coming out of the King of the Cone. And next minute it went from bum, 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 to bum, 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 as you just heard. And I just looked. The parents sitting on me, I was like, nah. And everybody was looking at me because the whole exhaust was on the ground. And I just drove, and it just left behind me on the stones. And it just stayed behind me, and I was like, all right, that's handy. Picked it out, threw it up against the fence, and got around in the queue a bit. And I was parking up beside the white Sapphire that I had, because I was going to start getting tyres and bits changed over. And then they came up, and Donald, as I was driving in, Donald was like, oh yes lad, well done. He knew all day I was in the top 16 but couldn't tell me. Obviously, you know. And he was, oh, yes, lad, well done, fair play to you, fair play. He was in a rush because he was trying to run, get things, whatever he was doing.
Yeah.
It's like, what's he on about? So parked up to my Sapphire and was getting ready to jack her up, and Paul came over and he's like, parking with the boys in the top 16. And I was like, huh? He was, oh, you're in the top 16. And I was like, oh, again? Oh, fair enough. So I was chuffed in again, like, so put a different set of tyres on, and I was like, sure, we'll give it a go again. And I wasn't, you know, I'm not going to go in here and win it. Like I says, if we win it, happy days. We'll just go in and have a laugh. Go in and put on a bit of a show. And
Bit of a show you put on.
Is your mind to, like, because this is differs between Death and the likes of me and you, as I would have such bad stage fright. I'd be like, what if I go in here and my car blows up? Which is, to be fair, given my track record of my car not working, that's more likely to happen than me putting on a show. But like, in your head, are you just like, I just want, like, I admire that confidence where you're like, I'm just going to go and put on a show? Or are you also thinking, if something happens, it'll be fucking funny?
Do you get filled with adrenaline trying to blow the engine up?
oh, yeah.
Like, it
wish I
eggs
had
you
that.
on more.
Oh, yeah. Like, the more that car survives, the worse it's going to get.
And see, with having so many,
Wish I had
there's
that.
no real emotional attachment to any of them. Like, if some of them,
there is.
No,
like,
there is. Like, I have 5 spare engines and 2 spare gearboxes
I like, so
for
what-
CVW. Not for the rest of them. For CVW.
so the actual shell, obviously, but you couldn't care less when engine blows.
Nah. But if that engine blows,
It's a sad day for the parish,
a very
because
sad day for that engine.
Is it still running with Buckfast as a coolant?
No, it's actually running on Bulmers this year. It's running on Bulmers this year because I was doing me the rally weekend checks and vice versa, and I was like, oh, coolant's a wee bit low. I was sitting in the shed having a couple of tins in the evening, you know, checking over. Just said nothing.
your car would fail a breathalyzer test, like.
Oh, quicker, yeah, exactly. So, yeah, she's running some Bulmers this year. And a bit of coolant.
That's class. So, like, this year, like, coming in the top 16 and all, like, what was your thinking? You're like, because I'm saying, you know, you're thinking about putting on a show. They do the whole parade lap this year.
Yeah.
What's in your head? Are you...
When I'm coming in,
Aye.
I'm just smiles that I'm here for a good time. And I'm going to get shit-faced after it, no matter what.
All
As
I
I
can think-
said to Gary Kerrigan, I was up with Gary Kerrigan every day before rally weekend, getting stickers and getting my overshares and my mates' bits and pieces sorted out.
I wish you wouldn't mention Gary Kerrigan. He gets too many shout-outs in this
I know he
podcast.
does,
His
but-
name comes up all the time. He's going to start asking me for royalties soon.
As I said, like, because me and Gary were chatting about it, he was like, what are you going to do if you win? I says, Gary, I'm not going to win. I says, win or lose, I'm on the booze. I don't care what happens. Like,
Yeah.
I says, I go in, I says, some boys take it too seriously. Not saying who, but, and some boys just go in and have a bit of crack. But I definitely just go in and have a laugh.
Oh, you're not...
You're
Yeah.
not shaking before it, or anything?
Huh?
Are you
No.
shaking? No?
See, it's funny because you're talking to, like, say, like, if you're talking...
All I can imagine is Danny driving in, just being like, "That's nice."
That's nice.
It's just funny because like you hear from so many different people. Like Shay says he's sitting there and literally you heard it in the
Bucking
podcast.
it,
Yeah, he's literally clutching onto the fucking bolsters of the seats. Like Jack Carville literally was fucking shitting himself and him the passenger. You know, we talked to like boys like Ryan Kelly. Like he would get, like he's nervous as well. You know, and then it's just you just probably lying in the seat, just going like, it's just not a fucking give.
Not one.
Were you always like that?
Always.
They're starting the silage up there beside us. There. I can hear the 870 class going.
Like, I'm always an easygoing person. You should see my work. Now,
You're that
the
laid
day
back, you're
you
laying
see
down.
me angry is the day you know something badly has went wrong. I've always been very level-headed, never hot-headed or never anything like that. Anything that goes wrong in life, I just deal with.
Fuck, I wish I was like that.
And then, as I said, if you go in somewhere, I never really get nervous. Now, I will say it was the first time coming into the top 16. See, when I was sitting there and you're watching, when they line all the cars up, I had a wee bit of nerves for the first second. As soon as I popped the clutch off the line to go down and line up against Ryan O'Hare, gone.
Seriously?
After that, just gone. I was just sitting there, hearing all the people and you're back, looking at everybody. I was a wee bit nervous for a couple of minutes and then just gone. You always get a wee bit of butterfly in the stomach, no matter what you do, but it never affects me or think of it.
But then, I suppose what I'm trying to get at is, you were coming out then. Whenever you went out, like, was it in your head going, I am going to make... Like, because everybody else does the whole thing where they go and they start diffing around everybody and they start sliding around. I'm not going to say it gets boring. It doesn't, especially when you're standing in the middle of a video and you're like, this is fucking class. What notion did you just take where you decided to take things to another level of just fucking sheer stupidity and mentality?
Well, the whole wall burnout thing started last year.
Right.
At King of the Comb.
Oh, okay.
That started in the sun. So I done the top 16.
Yes.
Last year.
Yes.
And I had the leave run and I said, that's not good enough. I says, I'll go in for a couple of runs on Sunday. I says, these tyres need finished off. So I was doing the couple of runs, done 2 or 3 runs, and I says, that's enough. I says, it's time, park up and go in the beer for the rest of the evening.
Yes.
So I says, right, I was sliding around, I said, what could I do here? And I was like, right, concrete bollard. Because she wouldn't lock up on the foot brake for me. She does some days and doesn't other days. And she would. I tried before I done the wall burner. I said, right, up against the wall. And away she went. And Aidan Gorgeous loved it. And then it bang second gear, just kept her at it, and then in the reverse, part of the burnouts, way out, and I was happy with that. And then over the year then, me and Donald and all were chatting and trying to figure out ideas. And I had a couple of ideas, but never got around to making up, and I'm not saying them yet because this next year's possibly the couple of ideas that I have. But me and Donald were kind of racking our heads of other things that we could do.
I think you told me about one of them ideas. And
I got that, but I never got around to actually getting it done. But
yeah.
Well, we'll get there. And then
if you do that, that's going to be something else.
Oh, yeah.
Please tell me outside of recording.
Yeah, we will. we will. So we come around at the end, and me and Darren Sample were chatting, leading up to, or on rally weekend. He's like, oh, me and you do bumper to bumper, and Sample never showed up. Well, anyway,
he bust the drive shaft, did he not?
I think he did bust something. No, he was there Friday.
He was there Friday, because I have a video of him Friday.
On the Burgundy.
He either busted the drive shaft or busted death.
He did bust the drive shaft because he was texting me actually for a shaft.
Yes,
I think.
he did.
But I had no spares down with me. And what was it? So I was like, what can I do this year? I was like, I have to do another wall burnout. But I have to do it better and longer. So obviously when I got knocked out by Fitzy,
yes,
which I couldn't be happy with anybody to lose to, because last year I was like, why is Fitzy not in top 16?
Aye, because I seen his car parked up.
Lethal last year.
He's
and all his
some
mates.
pilot.
He is tight.
He's no fear either.
No fear at all.
We're actually going down to him now. He's our next guest after you.
Yeah, no, like Fitzy's fucking top lad. Like, 'cause I always had him on Facebook.
Yes.
And if I seen him somewhere, we didn't know each other, but you knew
of each other.
You'd say hello. You go out your way to say hello. So seen him last year, King of One. I was like, why is he not top 16? And then he got it this year, and I went up to him. I was like, fucking yes, lad. And then he was asking me about because he was in Matsuri and all that, in Ebisu. And he's like, this is more complicated than going around Ebisu, you know, when we're doing the driver's briefing.
Yeah.
And then I had a laugh at the driver's briefing because I was the only one throwing digs to people. And then when they go, oh, does anybody want to call anybody out here now? And I was like, nah, I'll just go shut it up and walk away. I was like, nah, not call nobody out. But then I was like, should have called people out. But no, like Fitzy's top driver, like, and I couldn't be happier to get knocked out by him. So I couldn't out of anybody who was on the top 16 that time. So I was happy to get out and get bet by 20 cam again, but
They are a flying machine around
But
the corner.
his is what, an IS 200 box and a Bajero back
the
axle.
zero back end and the two back wheels are as straight.
Yeah.
And
Oh,
he,
that
he
boy,
grips up quick. Like,
he knows how to set up a car, like,
as
and she's a 20 valver as
yeah,
well.
20 valves was revving well too.
Yes.
Like, but as you're saying, with me taking things not seriously or in a sense just going in and not caring, I think coming up to next year I might put a bit of effort in.
Ach no.
Just a wee bit of
Wouldn't
effort
like you.
to go past the second battle. If we make it to the third one, then we'll see how we go.
I would actually love to see what you do if you won, because Shay, like, obviously put on a good
I
bit
have
of a
ideas
show.
for that.
If you win, like,
Would you blow her?
hopefully.
Would you try in
Well, I
the blower?
know, as you said, Ronan done a 6 minute on the limiter. If I could get tyres the last 6 minutes, I would do a 6 minute burnout.
Speak to Dwayne McKeever. There was one year, I think it was maybe 2015. He
In
had
the 2.9.
Yeah, he had AOO, whatever you call it, the grey one. He had the front grey one. And I remember he done a third
Done
year.
a big burnout, yeah. I mind that I was there.
Yeah, I think he had water in the tyres.
Oh, I look into it. I'll ask these Australians.
Yes, because he literally, I remember it got to the stage where he was sitting there and you could even see him just going.
Just getting fed up.
And then the next thing went boom, and everyone was like, wait.
Yeah.
Because everyone was just waiting for that long.
But the idea, I was talking about doing for this year. Oh, no, I can't say it now.
No.
I can't say it.
Just.
But yeah, we'll talk about it off camera.
Yes.
But no, there will be, if I did win it, because I think if I don't know, will I get top 16 next year or not? You never know what might happen.
Yeah,
but,
it could be a complete entirely different group of people.
Because I might not even show up, but I will show up, but you never know what could happen.
Mm-hmm.
If I get into the top 16 next year, and if I did win it, say, there would be definitely a fucking good show for that. That is for sure. There would be something rational done. So there will be, but no, if a couple of wee adjustments I want to do to the car. Because I definitely did find the Ashley manifold helped, and then actually having the full Ashley system that I tried out at the weekend
Right.
made a big difference to the car.
So that's what I was going to say about next. So this weekend, this is kind of like you've just sort of told me and kept kind of reminding me that I've missed a really good weekend.
One of the best events of the year, probably.
Oh, yeah.
I was kind of raging and definitely felt
snaps and
FOMO.
all.
Like, yeah,
I was
definitely.
hemming and hamming what it was going to be like, and then I pulled up.
See if they
and
had it on the
seen-
Sunday.
I know why it wasn't
Sold.
on Sunday.
I don't know why they didn't have it in the
Where it
Sunday
was on a
either.
Saturday during the day and like
At 4:30, like when a lot of people go out at that kind of time. But I was kind of glad it was at 4:30 because I was still trying to get CVW ready.
But see, I have a suspicion that I remember they done it on the Sunday in 2022 when they done it the Classics Day. And there was, to be fair, there was a lot of the same people. There was was there a blue M3?
Aye.
He was there. Benny, I can't mind his second name. Then there's the boy of the 84 twin cam, like they were all at it like that last time and all sliding, and it was good old crack then watching that as well. But that was a Sunday, and I would say the probably reason why they didn't do it is because boys probably did go on the drink on the Saturday.
Aye, and then couldn't show up.
And then not show up on the Sunday. Cause
whereas everybody went and then went out after.
Yes.
Yeah. But no, it was a cracker of an event. But couldn't keep the exhaust on either.
Surprise. What do you think the core problem is here with the exhausts? Is it you?
I think it is me. Have you seen the way we put it on and how quickly we put it on? Even though it all came in a lovely package and the tools to put it together, we just
Oh, so did you put the brand new Ashley in the car?
Brand new Ashley manifold, replaced the old one, and then a full brand new Ashley exhaust system went onto the car too. Brand spanking new, and now it looks like it's been drove over multiple times.
Fuck.
Did it get driven over multiple times?
It got dragged round Nuts Corner all day because I went out. I done a good few runs. I was happy. The exhaust was dead on, and then I came out, kicked her, and it just went. Bop, 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 bop. I was like,
So it's not even like you
So
clapped
then-
the wall or nothing?
no, nothing like that. It's just like the clamp came out, and I was like, nah, and I pulled out, went in, I was raging like. Because it was about to be a good run with a couple of good boys, and
Yeah.
Gareth and Jay and all. It was going to be, good run.
Talented drivers,
And I was like, raging. So got everything back on, checked over clamps, and I was sound. Went back out, lasted a run, went back out, came off halfway through the run, but at the time somebody in a Lexus hit, and they were trying to get him off. So me and Gareth pulled up, and I checked to see what way it fell off, but the clamps were still on.
Right.
So I was like, it'd be alright. I was like, I'm not missing this. And we had a cracker of a run then, me, Gareth and Jay Gurnley, went around the track, 3 of us door to door. And then after that I didn't give a shit.
Fair enough.
Just kept coming off, and I kept driving. At one stage the whole exhaust came off and sat in the corner of the track.
So it was back to the King of the Cone ignorant sound again.
Another wall burnout.
Yes.
Seen that there,
Yeah.
yes. Seen that.
Yeah. And got another trophy for that, so I was happy with that.
Was that an ignorant bastard award again?
I was just burnout of the day.
It's not the same.
Not the same.
Not the
but
same.
We'll take it.
You'll take it. You'll
We'll
take it.
Actually, that event, me, Shay, and Gareth, out of all the cars and all the drivers, there's a lot of twin cams and everything. We were the only 3 to get trophies.
Oh,
Yeah, 3 Sierras.
What did she won?
Gareth, I think, got like best driver of the day or something.
Right?
And then I think Shay got something like most mad
Right.
driver or something.
Fair
I
play.
don't know what was written on it, like, so it wasn't.
Should that not have been yours?
But then I think they had to give me the burnout one then.
Well, aye. Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah.
Fair, yeah.
whilst you were doing the burnout.
Yeah, he did give me it while I was doing the burnout. We have a video, an in-car video of me getting handed the trophy. And I just,
burnout.
then just neatly put it in my dash and tapping my dash while I was sitting there going da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And then I was like, I'm not stopping until these tyres. And keep in mind, my temperature gauge was like that.
Yes.
And it was actually going further past the
Ah.
red line. It was going a wee bit further. And I was like, ooh, we'll keep it at it till these tyres go bang. And then they did go bang. And then I clocked first gear again and then kept burning on the steely.
Ah.
Or on the rim of the tyre.
Uh-huh.
And I kept her at that for an orbit, and I was like, that's enough. And then pulled her in, and we sat there and got out and chatting away. And there's ones up taking photos of the car, and I was stood at the back of the car, and my other mate was stood at the front of the car, and next minute we just heard, duh. And we all looked at each other. I was like, what has happened now? And we were trying to crank her, and the starter was sounding dodgy, and then it nearly sounded like the bottom end was gone.
Oh.
Oh, fuck.
And then there's a big pot of oil laying underneath her, and I was like, but it didn't sound like she went bang. She would have went. She just stopped. So I had to get her recovered home.
Grim.
Sadly, we did get her going, but sadly we couldn't bring her up here today
Oh, no.
for this, which we really wanted to.
That was
but,
one of the original
What
plans.
did happen to her then?
the starter just shut itself,
Exited the chat.
and then a couple of earths and that got broken.
Fair
Because
enough.
and came loose in places. So got all that sorted and managed to bodge her to get her turning over today and got her fired up and parked back into the shed and washed. But I just wouldn't thrust it going.
No, not coming
I
from.
love how you wash a car.
Considering I didn't wash it after rally weekend and put it into the shed.
Fair.
And
It
then
was
drove
something.
then drove it to Nuts Corner without washing it.
Did you give them all back to your mother?
It was actually my granny's.
Oh, your grand. Did you give her back to your granny?
She's seen me. What I done was she probably bait me with it. But anyway.
Who needs a wash mat when you got a mop?
Exactly.
So-
Sponsored by Jesse Slick.
Someone else I'd need to get in contact with, actually. Yeah, someone else is on the hit list. So, I remember we were chatting about this here, and you said, like, you sort of wanted to throw a couple of names out there. I know you've already give Gareth Harn a hard touch,
Yeah.
and imagine Gareth, you didn't even land down helping the man out.
Exactly. And
But is there anybody else you want to throw a brick at while we're here?
we'll not throw a brick at him, but aye, Ryan Kelly.
Oh, fuck, he listens. Oh, no, Ryan listens as well. Ryan's a big listener.
I know he listens.
Ryan, I apologise on behalf of what he's going to say before you hear it here. Right, go on.
keep your toys in your pram for next year, lad.
Oh dear.
And I'll
Why?
send you the photo so you can, and you can insert it here.
He's gonna kill me. Why? What's the context?
Because I got my number before with the top 16,
Oh,
even though I did clip my bumper a couple of times. But I
Ryan.
no hard feelings.
Oh, Ryan. Oh, fuck, he's going to hear this. Well.
All right.
Fair play. Fair play.
Yeah.
Any other closing statements?
I don't know. I think we'll. Oh, no. I think that's everything.
Probably. What time's your flight at?
It's not to 1:30, but I have to leave Glenties at about 8 or 9 o'clock.
What time is it now, Connor?
Basically 11.
And we still have our
Your
the
podcast.
podcast to record from last week.
Yeah.
Danny, it was a fucking pleasure having you on.
It was a pleasure to meet you, Danny.
It was great to have you on.
It's a fucking good catch up.
So, safe travels.
Thank you.
And cheers for coming on.
Sure, we might see you in the near future.
Say no, do you
Say
hear
that,
more?
but you never know. We might do our wee trip.
Fucking loves deer flights.
Just fucking fly in, fly out of Australia, Joe.
Aye, FIFA did on Eagle, but just get somebody to text me, say I have no balls.
If I find out about this next couple of things going on, I'll give you a shout and just follow up by you going ... no balls.
No balls. That's all you have to say.
Next thing is just a plane ticket sent to me, and I'm like,
Got you now.
well, if you can work up your work and I can get this, and I know if this is getting sorted, then well, that's what we'll
That'll
play
be
it.
a good. Definitely, like,
Deadly.
be good.
No,
But
thank you.
Thanks for having me on. So.
And we're back. So
We are.
yeah, look, like Danny is some fucking character. Like he is funny. Like, and look, hopefully we will be seeing him in September here at Longford if he does call back again. No balls, Danny. If you don't,
Me again, back with another transition, and I'm only here simply to fill space and break the fourth wall. And Connor's not here to correct me, so fuck you, Connor. But yeah, look, we had Danny on, as you've just heard, sounded really well, and I'm now here just to simply bring in the second half of Ahiohill. So, if you're still listening, thank you, I appreciate it.
But then that was grand. We got the harvester in position so she would chop, made sure that PTO shaft was dead straight, drove the major forward, was about to reverse her back. You dirty bastard, is that a diesel? And then I was like, what else can go wrong at this point?
well, we then had to. So then we were like, right. At this stage, I was hungry.
You were hungry?
I was hungry.
Oh, we could tell you were hungry.
I was hungry, and
Michael, just for reference, Michael in the pickup was like this. Right, Tim Sheehan is going to be is doing a display at this place.
Well, not Tim Sheehan himself, but
No,
the Tim
sorry.
Sheehan Memorial.
Yes, sorry. Tim Sheehan unfortunately passed away earlier on this year. And they were doing like a display of his older stuff. You love 18090s.
Yes.
You've watched them on YouTube before. I've
Yes.
actually since watched that video, 20 seconds of it.
Deadly.
And you want to see them in action.
Yes.
Michael in the pickup. Right. We need to go and get grub now. When is this happening? Jeremy at this point was like, oh my God, he's actually being serious.
Yep.
Right. I need to ring all these people to try and find out when. And you were essentially like I have come all this way. I am not missing that. Not with a hope. And yeah, all the rest. Michael, very, very vocal about that. Carry on. Me, I don't give a fuck.
But like, to be fair,
not that I didn't give a fuck. It was more like,
to be fair though,
I'm my
it was
holidays.
like because like right, we still have to go and get diesel, so we still have to go and get a few drums of diesel. So we have to do that. We have to go and get food. So we went to the centre in Enniskeane.
bear in mind this was
Quarter past one.
Quarter past one.
Quarter past
I
one.
had not ate either that day.
Neither did I. So it was literally like right. We landed up, went to the centre in Enniskeane, then stopped in at the fuel spot. I filled the Amarok for the road home.
Yeah.
And we got diesel. Come back out to the field. I then dropped yous off and I parked up.
Yeah.
And then in the end up, it was dirty diesel that affected the major.
Oh.
Because they got her going. Because he was like, it's diesel knock, she's knocking. And I was like, I don't think she's knocking. He's like, sounds like she's knocking. And I was like, but then you could see white smoke. And I was like, no, I was like, that's fuel. I was like, she's not getting fuel. So then there's a fella apparently knows them engines. Like, that's a lorry engine. Well, it's a D series or what it is, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
The guy who has it is a fucking wizard. He managed to get her up and going. And I was so, like, at this stage, like, we'd seen Jeremy. It turns out Jeremy knows fucking everybody. He introduced you to JJ O'Brien.
Well, this is the thing, right? So during the Saturday night, we happened to get talking, and I said about the love for like 8340s, not just because they're like a cross between your more modern looking TM or 60 series. To be fair, 60 series run real. Don't like TMs because of the suspension, the way the roof.
Oh, I like TMs. I'm a big TM fan. But
well, they never came with a sunroof, and the suspension in them makes them look like the cab is pointing for the fucking like while high at the front. I know it's just. But long story short, just like the look of 40 series is, and anytime he's posted like, fuck, somebody's actually went to the effort of putting like Michelin tyres on 480s, 600s and all the rest, and said, I can't mind if he said something actually, sorry, about 8340 and about JJ O'Brien's, and I was like, fuck, like I've seen that in the various Facebook groups, Wild Tidy Tractor, like that's how I would do one. Well, JJ was obviously down on it, and as you say, Jeremy knows everybody, and just, well, he introduced, and I was like, you've a wild fucking tidy tractor. And I got a run on it, or he took me for a wee run on it. Can't make, like, I was a wee in the last time I was sitting on an 8340.
You were like a wee in the last time you were sitting on an 8340, which was last week.
Yes, no, I very much was. Fair play to him, that thing is spotless.
It's class. It is unreal.
It is just his.
It's nicer in person than it is in the photos. Cause you'd show me photos of it, and I was like, all right, whatever. It's an 8340. Like, I've seen other nice ones, but to be fair, in person, I was like, this
European tractor originally.
Spain or Belgium or something. Belgium.
She's dynoed at 135, so she's 150, I think. She's out to. John,
so a bit of a tweak, like.
Handled the 1050 JF 110%.
1050 JF and the 10-foot row is perfect for that kind of tractor, like for that horsepower. You wouldn't, if you were doing.
Oh, he said he was doing 30-foot snowballer wear as well.
All right, okay.
But
it'd have to be going probably in the low box, I would say, for that.
No idea.
6.910 he had beside it was nice too.
Oh,
she's nice.
And the cane trailer as well. Like,
aye.
To be honest with you, if it had been like ideal situation, I'd
have been rules reversed. It'd have been the John Deere and the 1050
40 and the 20-foot cane. Because for me, like the reasonable sized modern day classic with like a half pipe trailer is just cool as fuck. Because the modern day classic is the same power as, like, obviously not as heavy as like a T7200, but a T7200 is a fucking brute of a tractor compared to a 40.
Completely, yeah, it is.
Like the amount of men that have had to change their sheds to accommodate the bigger machinery.
Yeah.
Not because they're any more powerful, just bigger.
You can't get anything bigger than like an 8340 in any of our sheds, like.
Yeah, but yes, as I was sitting in his 40, yous were sort of getting the all the other equipment up and going again.
So yeah, this is where I felt really bad for Jeremy, because I was watching all of yous and I was taking videos of all of yous doing your stuff, and I was like, oh shit, Jeremy's got the major up and going. So I sprinted across all the rows to like run over and get a video of him, and we were coming along. He runs the double chop very low, arguably too low in my opinion, and the next thing, bang, caught a massive stone. Like this thing was that size, massive stone. And I was like, right, at this point I was like, this is just not fair. I was like, the man's just having the shittest luck. And I was like, we're down with him. Like, would he maybe be a bit embarrassed in front of us? Whereas we're just like,
not at all.
Hopefully not, because the whole thing was savage crack. Like, but like I seen him then, I was like, oh fuck's sake, like this is shocking. Like I felt bad. He pulled on off, and then I was like, right, okay, well the 7810's there, I'm going to jump in the 7810 and go for a couple of loads. Never driven a precision or a single chop in my life, and was coming along and I couldn't get it to blow on the trailer. And I was like, Jeremy, I was like, she's not blowing on the trailer. And he was like, oh, maybe it's the wind. Nah, turns out I just didn't have her in enough revs.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because then I was coming down, she was starting to kind of bog down a bit, and Jeremy, while he was looking at the major, he just pointed at me and just goes, "Put the fucking lever forward." And then he actually said to me, he goes, "Sorry," he goes, "I took a bit thick with you at that point." And I goes, "Nah." I was like, but he was like, because I was like, pushed it on, he went, showed me like as if to push it on more, and I pushed it a bit more till she was screaming, and he just went, thumbs up. And then after that, she blew into the back of each other, no bother, like, because I was like coming round, and there's literally a fella has taken a photo of me, and there's more grass blowing off the side of the trailer, and I was like, yeah, it's like Michael Scullin from Lemon Slip Differences, first time at Ahiohill. Here's a great picture to show how his day went. It's just a harvester blowing grass over the side of a trailer.
Oh, yes. To be fair then, at the end of it, there was a wee stripe of grass left, and I went alongside his air.
Yeah. Now 70-11 or something, or 71-11.
Experience, I have to say.
Suppose you've never driven beside, that was your first time going beside
A trailed harvester ever, like regardless of what type of trailed harvester.
Saturday night, beside Jeremy was your first time going beside a trailed harvester.
Yes, but that was an experience. I wasn't going like, no offense, Jeremy, like, the nothing major I didn't think was going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
But I know it was 390 and between medium, second and third, and like if you tried to go from third to second, you heard the old crunch times. But no, one thing to remark is, Jeremy, massive thank you for the hospitality.
And again, just getting to see that 180-90.
They are good, yes.
Two 180-90s coming up the field. The video I got,
we also grew a set of balls. We're just like, fuck it, we'll walk on down the field.
Yeah. I kind of felt, I was like, we're wearing the hoodies. As like, to be fair, this makes me sound like maybe a bit of a dick, but I explained to you at the time, and you were kind of like, yeah. I was like, to be fair, they say, "What are you doing here?" I could literally say media, and they go, "For what?" And I go, "Look, we do a podcast." And
there's another note. The most people that's ever came up and said hello and, "Well, lads, what's the crack?" and listen and great job and all the rest, like.
And that one field in Cork, we probably had more people come up to us at that in them couple of hours than we've ever had. Like, I know a couple of ones have said the podcast is back in Cork for whatever reason. I don't know, but like, fair fucking play to yous, people of Cork. Like,
didn't realise.
We appreciate it a lot. Like, boys going, "Well, lads, you've come some long way," and it's like, to be fair, do you know us?
A fella goes to me, "Are you from around here?" And I was like, "Have you heard me speak?" Like, don't really sound.
A couple of ones were like, usually the boys from TikTok.
Yes.
But, like, to be fair, like, I was standing chatting to fella Dan McCarthy, and before we went underneath to go and see all the, like, around the 180-90 and stuff, I was chatting to Dan McCarthy, and he was like, he turned to me and goes, "Oh, you're some distance from home." I'm chatting away, and again he goes, "I listen to the pod." He goes, "I would listen to it when I'm out and about." And I was like, "Oh, fuck, fair play to you, lad, like, thank you." And then again, just others coming up to you and going, and I'm sorry, I don't know the names of everybody, like, and there's one lad we were chatting, and he was like, "Oh, sure, I have the Sierra as well." And if you tell me who your name is, I go, "Yep, I probably have you on Facebook, I probably have you on Instagram." But at that moment in time, I could not think of the name. Yeah. And him and his mate with an 80-90. It was just, it was just such a good time. And yeah, like, I'd definitely love to do it again next year. All been well, I would love to be down.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll all be a bit better prepared. Fuck, it was class. And yeah, as you say, a massive thank you to Jeremy for doing that. For letting us stay and all. Like, it was a fucking experience and a half. It
was an experience and a half to see you drive with the single chop on the back of the trailer on the back of the 7810
with the arms that kept dropping
with the trailer on the fucking 3-point linkage. Oh my god.
It was, see, there's one
you
point
took some tar with you.
100%. She kept dropping the arms.
Yes. And then whenever you pulled in for ones, all you seen the single chop do was this here on the 3 wheels. You just seen the spout fucking waving.
There was one point the trailer was doing that too. I was coming up the hill and I was like, or coming down the hill, and I was like, "Oh fuck, speed wobble," because she's on the arms and the arms are swinging. It's just like, This is so sketchy. I am so glad we don't do this sort of stuff anymore.
No,
We're
definitely
spoiled. I think we're spoiled with some of the stuff, the way things have went now. Back in the day, I just wonder how many fucking accidents do people have with that sort of stuff.
Well, that's it.
Because if you weren't driving, like, I know I was only doing, what, like 17 mile an hour max?
Yeah.
That was plenty fast enough at times.
Oh, well, surely. Well, there's another thing, actually. Whenever everything was sort of more or less over, we took like 10 minutes, went across the stalls and that, and had a good bit of banter with Gareth Galt and Mark Troy.
Yeah, if you had said to me a year and a half ago when we first started this that you'd be down at a show in Cork, and it was me and you, Jeremy, and Mark Troy and Gareth Galt, you know, if they'd have said, you're going to be standing with the lad who you bought your loader off, Connor, Gareth Galt, and a fairly famous contractor.
Yeah.
From down the country, I'd have been like, well, fuck, I'm glad I started this podcast. Like,
or as everybody says down there, podcast.
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 Yeah, like, it was nice to be just in the conversation and chatting away and having actual
Of course, yeah.
contributions to the conversation, like, in chat. Mark Troy, like, well, Gareth's a nice lad, we knew it anyway, but Mark Troy's a fucking gentleman.
Yes. Now, very smart man.
He's an accountant,
But yeah, no, I would say not that you would ever think he wasn't, but very smart man. Seemed to like a lot of the technical questions, like you actually asking the question worth answering. You know.
But sure, like, to be fair, I kind of took even sort of John McLean's advice from the previous podcast, where John was like, I would rather people actually ask me questions,
a nitty-gritty one.
that I would have to think to answer, rather than just, well, how's the 7-8-10 going? And that's what you were literally doing. You're like, well, what are you charging an acre? And what is it the way down here? And how big's a crop? And stuff like that. You know, proper
I was
questions.
like, we had a heavy first cut. And he's like, ha, no, you didn't.
He's like, that's not heavy. And it was like, well, I'm humbled. Even the fact he was saying about like how he'd worked
He can
it
do
out.
20k down as 30-foot rows, so he can actually put it in quicker than if he had a 50-foot row.
Yeah, but it's the fact that he said, no, I've literally done the maths. He's like, and it's, pardon me, it's quicker for me to do a 30-foot row.
And it's very interesting, his thoughts on trailers.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you said, would you ever think of a compactor or a K2 or that? Because we were talking about Red Rock's acquisition of K2 and that.
Mm-hmm.
And he was just like, I have one theory on trailers and just keep it simple. It's just a
He's like,
metal
they're a
box.
simple thing, why change it?
Yeah.
And I was like, it's not a bad idea.
Yeah. They're just an overpriced simple thing all the same at the minute.
We then visited Hugh Bar on Friday night
We did.
to go. I have a couple of things needing sorted with models, and in general, we just wanted to see everything.
He is 1 to 16 shiny metal disease.
Yes.
No, sorry, 1 to 32 shiny metal.
1 to 32, shiny metal disease. A lot of D-turbos lying about.
Yes.
A lot of D-turbo spares lying about.
Slightly.
So, yeah.
It turns out if you see Hugh Barr coming along with a lick bucket, you know he wants wee bits of D-turbos.
Yes. He that collection of stuff he has is unbelievable.
Oh,
Absolute class, like some deadly stuff. But we went to ADC at Bishop's Court at the weekend.
great to see it back there.
It was fucking
Was it
class.
ever actually there before?
I don't know if it was ever. The AMA definitely came to. That's obviously an AMA. I don't know if the ADC ever did Bishop's Court. It maybe did at one point. Maybe say back in, like, I don't know, 2013, 2014. Probably.
It's great to see that venue is being used for the likes of that now.
I absolutely agree.
Now, like, they had the idea for camping on the Saturday night. They had Pro 2 on Saturday and then the Pro on the Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if doing it again, definitely go down for the camping for the back rack.
You'd probably do the both days.
Nice chilled out atmosphere. It's a place that can definitely take a crowd. There's loads of parking facilities at it. You're out of the way. You're not bothering anybody. And it's the space for, you know.
Now, that being said, you do have no protection from the sun. As you can see, both me and Connor are sunburnt stupid, and that is thanks to the ADC. So we landed in, took a walk around the pits first, bumped into Dan Fitz. He's actually coming up on an episode of Tasty Cup Shade.
Yes.
He's followed us on TikTok for quite some time, and we've chatted away to him. I'm going to make an apology because, you know, again, you see these people or you have these people and you know what their car looks like. You don't know what they look like. So then we were chatting away to him, he was speaking away, and then he was like, I was like, can I get a name? And he goes, aye, Dan Fitz. And I was like, oh, fuck, I know exactly who you are. But the worst bit is, I didn't catch on, because he's Dan Fitz on TikTok, but he's Dan Steezy on Instagram. Whenever Tasty and Gobshite put up their video of him,
I didn't catch on.
I didn't catch on, because I was like, all right, that's just one of their, and I didn't know what Dan looked like. So, Dan, here's an important lesson. Make all your social media handles the same, so simpletons like me can't get confused. That's what I've done.
Life advice by Michael.
So, chatting to him, bumped into Ali McClellan, speaking to him for a bit. Then we ended up speaking to Dwayne McKeever and Kevin Quinn.
Yes.
I asked Kevin, could I get some form of media pass for Tyrone? He said yes. I'm very happy about it. He then proceeded to tell me how I don't stop talking, and he's probably also right. So fuck you, Kevin, but that's just how it is. And somehow we still will manage to convince Dwayne to come on the pod. Now, that being said, we didn't convince Aidan Corr, even though I thought we might have had him, but I reckon we can get Dwayne. I think it's doable.
Dwayne would be a good podcast.
Dwayne would be a really, really good podcast guest.
And to be fair, it would be also nice for he's doing unbelievably in Drift Masters at the minute.
Yeah. I'll be a big fella in our cap, but like we'll make it out like we're doing him a favour. Dwayne, it would really help your career if you came if you came on this podcast. You know, I really think you've got potential. You could do some great things, and I think we could help, you know, bring your profile up a bit.
It's not like you would be sitting here talking away and
shivering.
We'd just be like, what are you doing, McKeever?
At the end of the day, he's only human like the rest of us.
Yeah,
but
sure.
he is a very well accomplished human, that being said.
He can steer.
Yes, that he can. So anyway, made it on round. Bumped into the O'Brien brothers as well. That was Cara and Francis O'Brien. Yes, that was them. Yep, that was them.
I
they were chatting away, and then I was like, these boys are familiar. I know where these lads are from.
Because he said I've been talking enough to you, and I'm like,
I would chat to Cara and Francis like right and often, like. So, but again, it's one of them things where, like, I have them on Facebook and all, so I do know what they look like, because I was like, you boys are deadly familiar looking.
Like, part of the reason I drove the Civic was if anybody did know us, they would know the car.
And they did.
Oh, I've seen K20 MGO there. And it's more so not, oh, look, I drive Type R. It's more just if anybody does know you or listen.
It's like a subtle hint.
That we're here.
Yeah.
You know.
It's like a subtle hint. We were chatting to them as well. They also got sunburnt, or they left before us.
Oh, they did?
That's a lie. They
Well,
left
fair,
after us.
I left at 3:30.
No, they left after. No, that's a lie. You left before. They left after.
Yeah.
How they were wearing hoodies in that weather, I have no idea.
Well, I had an idea, because I wore a hoodie specifically so that I wouldn't get sunburnt much.
And then you took it off.
Yes, and it turns out right. So normally, whenever you're out in the farm, you're wearing like old t-shirts, and old t-shirts, the sleeves come to about there.
Yes.
Right. And then super dry t-shirts normally come to about there.
The super dries are like nearly cropped.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I had, not giving anybody the fingers, but I had this space in my arm that never really gets sun.
A good old 2-fingered slit just between.
But anyway,
I'm literally a squashy. I don't know if the camera picks this up. If the camera does pick this up, I'm literally a squashy. Like.
So essentially, this little band of white skin got burnt, but because we were sitting, this little square of this part of the arm got burnt. So I look like a burnt squashy.
Oh.
It's fucking bright red, because obviously it never really seen sun. And then because in here in the crease in my arm got pretty burnt.
Yeah, it was sore.
I was like, oh.
You can literally see the line down my arm where the sun has hit. It's just literally like a wee line where
then my neck also got burnt really badly to there, and then it's just a fucking white line.
Yeah.
No, I mean like I yesterday evening watching TV with Gemma, she was like, I've been fucking aloe vera and that. How's that not pure like killing you? And I was like, it's not too bad, but
I'll tell you where.
Wear sun protection.
Yeah.
Like, don't be stupid, because I have got a very strong telling to just wear sun cream. I did have sun cream sun cream spray, whatever the fuck you want to call it.
And forgot to put it on.
Yeah.
Aye.
I
Well,
thought I was being smart with the hat and sunglasses. And I was, because where I'm bald or going bald, didn't get that much on.
Yeah, 'cause
like, sore.
So see my hair, like, that's, yeah.
Sore?
My scalp's on fire. Yeah. Yeah.
Have you put aloe vera on the day?
Yeah.
On your forehead quite a
Yeah,
bit?
I woke up.
You can see where you would have had aloe vera on
I
you.
woke up yesterday morning, and like literally, there was like
Was it like oozing?
yeah,
Oh.
Yeah.
I had that Drift Masters last year.
yeah. My forehead was literally oozing when I woke up yesterday morning.
Fuck, I hate the feel of it.
Yeah, and this morning actually as well, oozing as well.
I know, don't do that.
I got up yesterday after it all and had to go. We were up ridiculous. I was working in a factory. Had ridiculous heat. Ambient temperature was like 30 degrees or something, and around like animal byproducts. So, and then I went outside to get a breath of fresh air, and it was pure sun, and walked out, and like the sun just caught my arms, and I was like, fuck. Had to go back in again. I was like, fuck my life. But back to the ADC. I think I was a wee bit sort of kind of miffed at some of the numbers that kind of come into pro class. I thought there would be more.
But then again, I suppose it's an event. It's fairly up north for some of the competitors. It may not suit it. Fair play to the drifting community for Dylan Wilson. Had a seriously unfortunate thing happen on the way to it.
Yeah.
Basically around Toon Bypass / the new A6, his van caught fire on the way down to the event.
They don't know what it is. They have a few ideas of what it could be. They honestly don't know. There's no point speculating until obviously insurance goes out.
But everybody seemed to club together. Lee Scott came down in a van, so we were told.
Yep, Ali was saying that, yeah.
And, fair play to Dylan for after all that happening. He still went and, he didn't catch much luck with car issues.
No, definitely not. Considering his car performed so faultlessly at Mandello, for it then to just be, like, mainly power steering, I believe, was what was giving him most of the issues. Like, Dylan on his days, one of the best drivers out there. Like, honestly, like, brand new car, never really had driven it, went second in the podium in Pro 2 and was able to hang fire well enough. I think he got put out by Josh Holdsworth in Mandello. I think it was Josh Holdsworth, I'm near sure, put him out. So, I mean, Josh has a right bit of experience too, and a very, very well laid out car. So, and it was a very, very close battle. Could have went either way.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I think Dylan made a couple of wee mistakes and that kind of had it. Other than that, he would have been well on. So fair play to him for even going down, and hopefully for stage 5, round 5, he's got a bit more luck and he keeps it to winner and keeps her at it. But yeah, look, the talent's definitely there. There's a lot of very, very talented driving in this country. I think we're very spoilt now with the fact that we have so many talented drivers in this country going to Drift Masters. But, we kind of don't realise the ranks them boys had to come up through. But, even the likes of ADC in this country, even Tyrone is incredibly competitive.
Well, there's, one thing I definitely noticed was... and I think Stephen pointed on it in the podcast we did with Stephen.
Episode 27 or 28, one of the two. Check it out. It's called The State Agents.
So, you look at Pro 2 cars there running 2Js.
Mm-hmm.
Pro cars obviously run 2Js. It's got to the stage now where you can qualify with your M3.
Yeah.
But, you can only do so much in a battle whenever you're again a much faster car.
Perfect example was Dwayne McKeever out in Callum Coogan's M3. I think
How did they get on?
Well, in the end up, Dwayne went out.
Again in the top.
Harry Kerr.
Top 16, top 8.
Top 8.
Top 8.
Top 8. Dwayne went out against Harry Kerr. Kevin Quinn won.
Oh.
But it was a real... Kevin didn't do the best chase run against Alan Hines.
Okay.
And the first round, he came in very, very hard. Kind of shunted Alan a wee bit. The pair of them kept at it. Went on around the course. That was fine. The run from Kevin was a wee bit scrappy. Alan, I wouldn't have said that the best lead line either, though.
Okay.
Coming in the second time, Alan came in on...
So they went out one more time then?
No, so it coming back right with Kevin leading. Alan was in behind. Alan was on his door. They come round again, round where we were sitting. The smoke cleared and both of them were sitting facing the wrong way.
Oh.
Alan then hit Kevin. So that was okay. They went, got the cars checked, declared it should be an hour one more time.
Yeah.
So they done that and went back out again, and they came in, and Alan Hines came in full bore and drove into the side of Kevin Quinn.
Brakes maybe giving him an issue?
I think so, and more or less put himself clean into the barrier, and that was that.
Was his car alright?
Car's fine. But like, he was coming around chasing Kevin, and the wing fell off like at one point.
Fair enough.
Like, it was...
He was going at it.
He was going at it. The car will probably need a bit of an overhaul for round 5. But he's still very much in the fight. The main fight in the championship is between Harry Kerr and Alan Hines. So both of them kind of keeping their fight alive. What do you call your lad? Pro 2 driver. He was Daniel Devine. He was driving the yellow S13.
Yeah.
He ended up taking third in the podium.
Oh, right.
So fair play to him, Pro 2 driver.
Yes.
So rookie going up and taking third in a pro class. It's absolutely fantastic to see. So fair play to him. So yeah, look, it's great. As I say, you're not going to get drift masters. Like, you know, you're not. People are thinking that, as I say, in this country are now spoilt with what we have, like with the likes of, you know, the James Dean and Dwayne McKeever and the Shanahans and all. I think people expect to go to these events and expect to see the exact same.
Yeah.
But the reality is, the level of what we see in ADC is still a lot more superior. Put it this way, the level of what we seen in ADC is better than what was in Formula Drift at the weekend.
Aye.
And I would encourage anybody to go out and support, even just for the engine noises alone. You'll have a great time. Like, I would seriously recommend anybody to go follow the ADC. Like, if it's near you, I would highly recommend going, because the lads and all the drivers are all grateful to see the support, like, and it keeps them at it and keeps them pushing on. So
yeah.
Anyway, that kind of rounds off the second half of our what's new. But I needed to get ADC in as well. So to be honest, I've got quite a few of my mentions already out of the way. I don't know if you have much. Have you at all?
No, I've done mine as well.
Yeah, so literally I have, yep. The only other things I have is both Reese Bruce and Kevin Leonard sent me a combine derby.
Lovely.
So just like Americans being Americans and going out and charging night short with combines. So like a destruction derby with combines. That'd be kind of cool, to be fair. Yeah. And Jasper from Moonlight Drivers sent me a video of a fella who 3D printed a bumper in his car. The thing is, the bumper was that custom. I can't even tell you really what car it was. But it was a full custom kit, like he's going to do the rear bumper next.
Fuck.
So that's where we're going with like the 3D printing and stuff.
It makes sense.
That's pretty hardcore. So, yeah, not very many mentions because anybody else who was in it got their mentions already. And I'm sure other people have written to me. Apologies if I haven't shouted you out. Things are kind of hectic at the minute and there's a lot going on, and sometimes I just open and reply to you and don't remember to write it down on my phone. So, on that note, will we call it time, Connor?
I would say so, because this is very long.
Yeah, it's very late.
It is very late. Not as late as it has been.
But still pretty
late.
But
we're literally just recording our own thing tonight, and it's still taking 3 hours.
Yep.
So,
on that note.
Yeah, so if you're watching us on YouTube, hello.
Thank you.
And please don't be afraid to like and throw down a comment or two.
Subscribe as well.
That's one thing I'm actually meant to say. So, Brian Miller.
Aye.
Yes, wrote a comment essentially saying if the people were to run a diffing school.
I yeah. I mean, to be fair, I don't know how you would charge it. I think there'd be a lot of arguments and prices being like, I'm paying X amount of money to go and throw a few rings.
It's a good idea.
But hypothetically speaking, it's actually a very good idea. Because you only need a yard and a couple of cones and a Lexus.
Pretty much.
Like, and teach people. Like, it's, as Brian says, it's, if you've never done it before, it's... yeah, I mean... I wouldn't be against the idea of that.
No, definitely not. Like, it gets more young people interested in cars.
Yeah, you don't necessarily have the expendable money to go out and
Realistically,
buy a Lexus, which are increasing day by day at this point.
Well, even have one way, just this standard exhaust or whatever on it, keep the noise levels down.
Yeah.
And all that
You just be a standard car, but well, at diff like.
So that's. But yes, if you're watching in YouTube, please don't be afraid to like and comment and please subscribe and continue to watch.
You'll maybe have seen our new camera quality. We're now in better quality.
We are. And also, if you're listening on Spotify,
thank you
very much.
So you can follow the podcast and the brand in general at Limited Slip Differences on absolutely everything.
Yes.
YouTube, Instagram, TikTok.
You can metaphorically follow Michael if you look him up on
Michael Scullin _ on Instagram and TikTok, but I never use my own TikTok. I just try to channel everything through the podcast and trying to do the same with Instagram too. What are you and your socials?
Connor.McGoo.
On everything.
Not that they're updated too often.
No. Mainly trying to push everything through the podcast at the minute.
Yeah.
So, on that note, thanks.
Thanks very much for listening.
On that note, thanks. On that note, folks, thanks very much for watching. All the best.
Take it easy.
You could stare at the camera to finish off.
Take it easy, I'd say.
There we go.